Yeah.
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 How's it going?
What's up, everybody?
Wow. That's all you got? What's up, everybody? That's your intro to the damn
What's
show?
up, everybody?
That's your intro to the show? What's up, everybody? And you just stop?
Oh,
God.
welcome to episode 188 of the F Marks podcast.
I'm Jay.
I'm the brainless one.
And I'm El Jefe, back from the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Don't you have to be dead to come back from the dead?
He did.
I mean, the whole world's been dead for like 6 months now, but.
Yeah?
Yeah?
There we go. Well, we got quite a bit to get into in today's episode. We have Summerslam tomorrow night, so we're going to get into the predictions for that. We have
Takeover
NXT
tonight.
Takeover 30, which I thought was funny.
NXT Takeover porn.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was funny. It was NXT Takeover XXX, and it's like, it's fitting that the Velveteen Dream is part of the card tonight.
That's disgusting.
So we have that. One very interesting name in WWE gave their notice, and they will be leaving WWE very soon.
Very excited for her.
So we will discuss that a little bit. And we got introduced to something called the Thunderdome.
Brother.
Yeah. Mad Max was not there either.
I thought it was interesting that it was Kevin Dunn that came up with this idea, or was part of this idea. When I'm 100% convinced that he thought it was a Thunderdome.
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
But
He does love.
anyway, one big thing about this week is that there was no AEW, so we don't really have to talk too much about AEW.
Yeah, AEW is going to be tonight.
AEW is
They
going
got
to
competing.
They got preempted for the NBA playoffs, so.
Yeah.
Because God only knows that there's nothing better than watching LeBron James cry when he gets called for a foul.
Ron James is the best basketball player ever lived. Not ball gambler.
Bill Russell. Bill Russell has 11
He
championships.
played against plumbers and truck drivers.
He did play against plumbers and truck drivers. See, look, even Seth. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
the Philadelphia Eagles made it to the playoffs last year with, I cannot believe I'm defending the Eagles right now, when Carson Wentz
Thanks
throwing
for
it to
Michael. Thanks for
plumbers
tuning
and
in,
truck
man.
drivers.
That's the Browns every year.
Well, I mean, with that NFC East and all the trash there, so, you know, that's
Well,
Oh, that
they're
happened.
back to being the division that nobody wants to win, so.
it's great. So, anyway, we're here to talk professional wrestling, damn it, and it's the second biggest show of the year.
Hey, we're doing really good, Michael. How about you? We're just happy to be here. It's Saturday. The sun is out. El Jefe has decided to grace us with his presence, so we're very
It's
grateful.
a major
of that.
show. Got to keep the streak going. You know?
That's right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So,
All right, so let's get into a little bit of this. I say we talk about the whole situation with the soon-to-be former WWE employee.
all right.
So it was announced this week that Renee Young gave her notice with WWE, and she will no longer be an employee. I don't know exactly when her last day is going to be, but she did give her notice this week, and she is leaving WWE. Thoughts?
Well, there's a lot of speculation that, like, well, she's going to go to AEW. Apparently, she has some sort of no-compete clause that will not allow her to do AEW for quite some time. On top of that, I feel that, like, she wants to branch out beyond what she's been doing with professional wrestling. I know she loves professional wrestling, and like, she loved doing what she did, but I think she has different hopes and different dreams. She was the first ever female commentator full-time on Monday Night Raw. I mean, she did a lot of things to break down barriers for women in WWE. You know, she was the MC for, like, Talking Smack. She was the MC for when they had Raw Talk, which I think they bringing both of those back. And when they had the show on Fox, yeah, she was the MC of that too. So, you know, they used her for anything and everything, and she did a fantastic job in almost every place that they put her in. But, you know, I think she's going to end up back in the realm of sports.
She is the closest thing WWE has had to Mean Gene Okerlund since Mean Gene Okerlund. And she stood out so much on the broadcast. Like, all the other interviewers, man or woman, they're all fucking robots now because of Kevin Dunn and how Vince wants shit. But Renee never did that. Renee kind of said, fuck you, I'm doing my own thing. And she was great. She was always great. I love seeing Renee on screen. Every time Renee was on screen, I'm like, this segment's going to go well because Renee knows how to get the most out of the wrestlers. And that's the whole point of a fucking interview, not being a stupid robot to ask a dumb fucking question that doesn't mean anything. And Renee never did that. And she's too good for WWE, in my opinion.
Agreed.
She, like Jay said, AEW probably not in the cards. I can see her going to ESPN, or she already has a foot in the door with Fox Sports. Maybe if TSN Roger Sportsnet wants her back, they can get her back. I know she lives in Las Vegas now, so it might be a little tough. But if she wants to do maybe
go work for the Raiders.
She can go work for the Raiders. She can go work for the Golden Knights. She's a big hockey person, so she can work for the Golden Knights. But the sky's the limit for her. She's going to be in high demand.
Easily.
I think any network would be foolish to not try and obtain her services.
Thanks for tuning in, Andy. Hopefully you'll get to see the back end of the show whenever you get back from what you're doing. Thanks for checking in, though.
Appreciate it, man. I agree with you guys. I think this is an incredible opportunity for her. She really has made a name for herself over the years with WWE. She is one of those ones. I think that was a great analogy, is the fact that she has been the closest thing we've had to Mean Gene Okerlund. He's actually right over here in the
Funko area.
Oh, he's right here on the top.
Top.
Right here.
There you go. You pull him down.
That's such good shit.
Gene Mean, baby.
Yeah.
The Gene Mean.
But yeah, I think that's a really good comparison, is to compare her to Mean Gene Okerlund, because he was the benchmark of what a really good broadcast, or like an interviewer and all that stuff. And you knew that when Mean Gene came out there, you knew you were getting good shit.
Well, before, like, these promos were absolutely scripted to a T and boring and dull and stupid, Baron Corbin, the whole point of the interviewer, like, everyone had their gimmick and their persona, and they just amplified it up. The whole point of the interviewer was to get the interviews out of them, and and he got the most, usually out of the Macho Man, out of the Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan. He helped make those guys massive stars. And Renee, the way WWE is, unfortunately, I don't think she was able to get the credit she deserved, because had it been kind of the same as back then, I think she would have been like that. However, she was the only competent interviewer they've had in I don't know how long.
I know the brainless one would say Charlie Caruso.
I mean, Charlie's pretty good. I like Charlie a lot too. Renee's better. I mean, Charlie has.
I agree.
Charlie has her charisma, and she's kind of probably going to be.
She's got a really good personality for what they expect from her, because she could do what they want, but she has like her own flair that she can add to that whole thing of like doing interviews and everything. And she is a really good talker. I mean, she's good enough to be on ESPN.
Yes.
I mean, ESPN puts her out there with Stephen A. Smith and freaking Max Kellerman.
That's
and
awesome.
I mean, it takes a special kind of human being to be paired up with Max Kellerman. So
or Screaming A.
I love Screaming A.
I do too.
I love Screaming A. Screaming A's grown on me, man.
Oh,
she's hilarious. But yeah, like Charlie, I don't know. Like, I think they're really trying to group Kayla Braxton to the top spot now. Kayla's okay. She's fine, but she's not going to be.
Not the same way.
It's not going to be close. And I don't know. Like, the WWE broadcast is definitely going to suffer. I mean, we already have to deal with like what fucking Corey Graves every fucking.
I mean, I think this means we might get more David Otunga on pre-shows. Because Renee used to be on pre-shows.
I just hurt myself.
Booker T.
Hey, don't disrespect Booker T. That's the dude.
Booker T is perfect for the pre-shows, but Renee was good at steering that ship.
Yeah, she's like, hey guys, she keep it on the rails.
So now it's going to end up being either
Renee Young should actually come working here. She could keep us on the rails.
Remember when the coach tried to be the show guy, and they're like, this is fucking dumb. He sucks ass. He's no shit. So Renee, you're gonna go do it again. And look what happened. 3 shows got better.
Yeah,
the coach sucks ass.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably going to be him that replaces her. It's either going to be her, it's either going to be him or Kayla Braxton, or it's going to be Renee or Charlie Caruso. And I think that Charlie Caruso has enough going on right now, although she has been doing a lot more of the pre-shows. Like, she does the NXT pre-shows now, so I wouldn't be surprised if she ended up getting the main roster pre-shows. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought somebody else in. I mean, let's see what happens like tonight with the whole Pat McAfee thing. Like, I don't think that personally, I don't think this is like a one-off thing for Pat McAfee in the ring. I could actually see Pat McAfee winning the 24/7 title and doing something more with it than freaking that stupid piece of shit that used to play for the Patriots.
Well, I think they're like, hey, Pat, you want to get in the ring? Because after they lost Gronk, it's like, shit, we need an NFL player.
And Pat McAfee is perfect for it, too. Pat McAfee, because nobody ever expects the punter to be anything spectacular.
No.
But if you remember a couple of years ago when they had the draft in Tennessee and he cut that awesome heel promo on the people from Tennessee because he played for the Colts.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fantastic. I'm like, this guy has like legitimate heat and he can get that. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if Pat McAfee got brought into that kind of a caliber position. I mean, they've been talking about that ever since Daniel Cormier lost to the Pride of Cleveland last week.
Steve Bash. Still wear that shirt.
But I mean, I know that Fox is very high on bringing in Daniel Cormier. I know that WWE wants to bring in Daniel Cormier. I just don't see it because, like, yes, I get it. He's a good character and all this stuff, but it's like, what is Daniel Cormier going to do to translate into possibly joining like a WWE show or even doing a WWE or a wrestling-based show for Fox?
Well, he wouldn't just be on the show. He would be a performer. Like, he more or less, Cormier said, like, if he ended up in WWE, he talked about how it would be like a vacation, comparatively speaking. I don't think he actually quite understands the grind that.
Oh, no. Like, Ronda Rousey did it for a year, and she's fucking done with it. So,
but like Cormier, like sounds like completely game to get in the ring and do stuff for this.
might as well,
and I
man.
think it might do better than when they brought in Cain Velasquez, just because.
Okay, Cain Velasquez happened for like 1 second, and he got hurt.
Well, he was hurt before that match, but they signed him, and they're like going, all right, well, can you hold off on your surgery and do this match? And they were hoping for bigger things after, but then they, for whatever reason, still decided they needed to like fire and furlough everybody when they made more money than they ever made in their life, and now they're spending $500,000 on an arena for 2 months instead of employing people. But I don't make these decisions. Vincent Kennedy McMahon does.
It's such good shit, pal.
Yeah,
Such good shit, pal.
yeah.
Really quickly, since you did bring it up when you were talking about Mean Gene, you know who his favorite person to interview was, right? I know who you're going to say. No, it was nothing Iron Gene. Mean Gene Okerlund's favorite person to interview was the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah, I mean,
because he knew like what he was going to get out of Hogan every time he did a promo with Hogan. Because he's like, let me tell you something, Mean Gene, and you get this coked out Hulk Hogan. But it's like with Randy Savage, he's like, I never knew what I was going to get from Randy Savage. He's like, and that's why I love working with him. He's like, because it was going to be gold, but I never knew what was going to come out of his mouth. Because the cream always rises to the top. Yeah, the cream. The GOAT Randy Savage.
Right. I mean, you missed a couple of things. Monsef talked about give Nia a chance.
oh god,
already.
no. Please.
Why? Why would we give Nia a chance?
No chance.
He wants to trigger you, man. He's the Nia person, and you know.
You have an Xbox person too. Xbox person.
Yeah.
No, it's Omega now. He Omegas me instead of that.
Oh
Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
believe
Gags
too.
Khan likes to.
Do the Big Show.
So
Has anyone seen the Big Show?
No.
Gags Clown has. So. But
Everybody loves Big Show.
No, I
That's what it
don't.
should have been called.
yeah.
Should have been called Face and Heel.
Right.
Because at the beginning of an episode you'd be a face, and at the end of the episode it'd be a heel.
So. Yeah.
Like 14 times in between.
Anyway, so Renee Young, soon to be gone from WWE. They did not have a conclusive day as far as when she's gone. I'm going to guess it's going to be
this
after
weekend.
SummerSlam.
I read this weekend, probably or last weekend.
So good for her.
Gives her more time with the Mox, man.
Maybe she wants to have kids.
Maybe.
So good for them. Good for her. And now if Johnny Moxley ends up in her videos in the background, she won't get in trouble.
Well, she was doing her cookbook this week, and she was in her video. He was in the videos.
Yeah.
Tism.
Anyway. So you guys just stop talking.
I know.
That's terrible.
There was a dog whining, and it was concerning me.
Anyway.
I had a brainless moment.
Yeah. All right. So Renee Young gone. All right. And then
And now that topic is gone from the conversation. See what I did
this
there?
show is going to take 3 hours if you keep on
Yeah?
adding stuff. All right. Thunderdome.
Hey,
Thunderdome made its
welcome to
appearance
Thunderdome.
last night on SmackDown. It's definitely a better visual presentation than the Performance Center.
I agree.
Sure, and they added pyro back again. Nice of them to cut all those wrestlers so they can afford the pyro, right?
And $500,000, close to $500,000 for 2 months at the Amway Arena.
Is that their lease?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they may extend it.
To be fair,
To be fair.
as a Magic fan, that money's coming into the owner of the Magic's pocket, so I have no problem with them paying.
Or is it going to the city of Orlando?
Well, the rumor is that perhaps that
Orlando?
they don't think that WrestleMania is going to end up in LA next year. But they think it's possible that it could end up in Orlando.
Wait, it's not going to end up in LA? You ever got good at LA tacos? Everyone has tacos in LA. Letterkenny stuff, everybody.
But basically, like with where the different states are as far as like where they are as phasing things back in for coronavirus, it's like going. It seems more likely that Florida would be like, yeah, we'll do WrestleMania.
Well, Florida's not giving a single fucking shit about anything since this whole thing started. So.
No, not really. I mean, the only thing they've actually done of importance was they canceled WrestleMania in Tampa.
And then like 2 weeks later, it's like, okay, let's open back up, and then everyone's gonna die of coronavirus in Florida. So,
well, to be fair to Florida, the numbers of people dying are higher in New York and California.
we're clustered
But,
for now.
So
We'll
anyway,
To be fair, though, Florida is the freaking inside joke of this country.
it is. If it didn't happen in Florida, did it really happen? One of the radio stations around here has a thing called Stupid News, and literally every day,
It's Florida. Florida man.
literally every day.
There's a little Twitter account called Florida Man, where it says the headline has to start with Florida Man. And there's always like 15 tweets from it.
My all-time favorite was the Florida man who got so high off of meth that he killed his imaginary friend and then turned himself into the police. I would have loved to have been a cop that day.
So, anyway, with Thunderdome, at least it's a better looking presentation. They don't have to have the plexiglass all over the place.
Agreed.
And I mean, I was actually fine with them piping in a little bit of crowd sound on it. Now, outside of the couple people who fell asleep watching SmackDown, you know.
That was hilarious. Like, there were 2 people in like the panels. You could watch the panels. They were just straight up in bed sleeping. That was terrible.
Now, I'm wondering if
What
they
a
were, like
fucking
trolling on
analogy.
person.
What an analogy for
On
WWE in 2020.
That's what we need, but we need that for the 3-hour show on Raw, where all the people that are in the Thunderdome are sleeping. That would be the ultimate insult.
They should organize that. There's too many marks out there.
But yeah, that actually are interested in watching. So,
Pity them, man.
but no, I kind of dug the look for it, and like actually at the beginning of SmackDown, they had like Vince McMahon come out to like present the Thunderdome.
Welcome to the Thunderdome, pal.
And such good shit.
Such good shit in the Thunderdome.
Look
Look at all the pyro. Ha ha.
Yeah, you know
Fuck all the
those people
wrestlers I
on-
cut.
Yeah, they're gonna be all part of Retribution.
I don't think so. I thought a lot more that I've been reading about this week. I don't see it happening.
With Wade Barrett.
I think the only one that might come back might be Curtis Axel. That might be it.
I saw what's her name? One of the NXT girls. She kind of sucks. Jessie Kamaz.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's the one with the purple tips in her hair, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but Vince McMahon actually started last night's show bringing out the Thunderdome, and then the Fiend decided to interrupt him, and then Braun decided to interrupt the Fiend, and like they had a stare down, but then Retribution
Came out
around the ring. But my favorite little moment with this was like literally the Fiend just looks at Braun Strowman, does his Fiend thing where he turns off the lights and he was out of the ring, and then Retribution starts beating down on Braun Strowman, which then causes all the SmackDown locker room empties except for The Miz, who conveniently came down. He came down on Hangman Page time. I would say, like, he was the very last person to come down, and like, maybe he has something to do with Retribution. Who knows? But either way, SmackDown locker room empties out, helps clear Retribution from the ring, and then Strowman decided to like tiz him out on everybody, even from the SmackDown locker room, and like kind of made his way out.
I'm not finished with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I thought it was a cool look. Cool way to start the show. SmackDown in general was a little bit all over the place, but I kind of enjoyed that bit as far as Vince bringing in Thunderdome and what have you.
And I know something on SmackDown happened last night that you must have been really thrilled to see.
Yeah, there were a few things that happened this week that I was completely super thrilled to see.
And by thrilled, we mean the exact opposite, sarcasm.
And before we get full tilt into all the things that happened and the predictions, just want to mention rumor out there that Shane McMahon may become the head of creative for Monday Night Raw.
Man, I wasn't watching Raw now. That's more of an incentive for me never to watch it again.
Basically, poor Bruce Pritchard has been taking on duties for both Raw and SmackDown, and he more or less at this point is like,
And it has been
I can't keep doing this. So one of the things out there is that they might have Shane take over as creative, and they actually have said that since
I thought the whole point of Shane leaving WWE in the first place the first time was because he wasn't creative enough.
Well, apparently he's been helping a lot with creative since he was taken off camera, and apparently Vince likes enough of what he hears.
Has he been hitting the head enough times that he's actually creative now?
I don't know.
Huh.
He still hasn't gotten creative when it comes to throwing punches.
Oh my god.
And I will say this.
I can't. I never want to see him again in the ring.
And it's funny too, because like I've heard a lot that the reason why the product is such shit now is that back in the day when anything was bad, there was people in WWE who would tell Vince, no, this isn't right, this is stupid, you can't do this, and Vince would go and change his mind. Now the problem is that people in creative that they have is a bunch of people that he's going to say whatever the hell he feels like, and they're just like, and they're just clapping and saying, oh, that's great shit, pal, because it's basically Kevin Dunn. Kevin Dunn ain't going to tell Vince no. Kevin Dunn is going to look for the nearest dam to build, and that's about it. His daughter Stephanie, you think she's going to tell her dad no? Nope. His son Shane, you think Shane's going to tell him no? Nope. Friggin' Bruce Pritchard doesn't have any testicles, so obviously he's not going to tell Vince no.
He loves everybody.
And then there's Triple H. You think Triple H is going to tell Vince no?
Triple H has told Vince no a few times.
Actually, Triple H did an interview about that this week. Mm-hmm. He talked about how
with Screaming It, right?
It might have been with Screaming It, but he talked about like, yeah, me and Vince get into it, but he's like, usually we get over it pretty quickly because it's like, all right, well, he's the boss. I'll tell him what I think, and I'll disagree with him.
Tell him what I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that WWE is in Orlando and the NBA is in Orlando, maybe we need to send Rudy Gobert to Vince McMahon. That way Vince can catch the coronavirus.
Rudy,
I'm pretty sure.
I heard you know what corona.
We're going to make you a heel. We're going to make you the Corona Master. That's becoming a good shit, pal.
You're going to be COVID-20.
COVID-20.
Because it's such good shit.
Better than 19.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah. All right. So that's that. We had a couple of returns this week on Monday Night Raw. Rey Mysterio, who has been thrown off the top of Titan Towers this year, had his eye gouged out
Twice.
And I don't know how this guy is still out there doing stuff.
Does he have an eye patch now?
He does.
Holy shit, that's hilarious.
They actually sewed the eye patch into his mouth
So he has to wrestle blind.
with one eye.
One eye.
That's fucking stupid.
So
It's WWE, right? We have to say anymore.
So Mysterio obviously has signed some sort of new deal with WWE. It's been rumored that it's somewhere between 18 months and 5 years. I'm going to guess it's 3 years. And Mysterio's there, I think, to more or less paved the way for Dominic, Eddie's son. Right?
I hope there's another custody of Dominic ladder match now that we're here.
Between Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio.
Well, I mean, they have this. I mean, they Rey Mysterio's family is really like Rey puts them on the line all the time against CM Punk. Like, wasn't it his daughter that was on the line? You know? Yeah. So, look at that, Mike. Michael, yes, I agree. I bet the dam is up Vince's ass because that's where Kevin Dunn likes to reside.
Let's take some nibbles out of that.
You know, I'm
Out of this
gonna
lawn.
dress up like next year or this year for Halloween, I'm gonna dress up like a beaver. And if anybody asks, "Oh, what are you, a beaver?" No, I'm Kevin Dunn.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
And everyone will be like, who the fuck's Kevin Dunn? Because they're not fucking nerds.
Yeah, they're not marks.
All right, fine. I'll just go back to my original idea of moving Andy Fox for Halloween this year.
Right.
Shave a beard, put on a suit and tie, and just start yelling at people.
Hey! You got Levy on?
Yeah.
Levy on!
All right. So also this week, and it happened with a whimper, and I was sad about this. Mickey James returned to Monday Night Raw.
Hey! So, funny story about Mickey James. Well, kind of. It was funny to me. So, I guess we lost the Today Show a couple Sundays ago.
Yeah.
Because we lost connections in
Yeah.
New York or whatever. And they started, so we had to fill the time. And we started playing this special about Mickey James. I was like, what?
Hardcore country, baby.
I was like, it's Mickey James, yo. It was like one of those educational things for about athletes or whatever.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, that's real cool. Mickey James is on. And then 5 minutes later, we got the Today Show back. But we got Mickey James for 5 minutes.
Sad.
Which is probably longer than her match was against Natty Neidhart on Monday.
Yeah. I mean, they announced her return to Monday Night Raw ahead of time. She is a surefire Hall of Famer.
No question.
And she's been off TV for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And you have her lose via countout in a nothing match where it was more about Seth Rollins and Murphy yelling at Samoa Joe, asking him how he knew Rey Mysterio was there. It was more about that angle than the return of a 6-time women's champion. Why do they do stuff like that?
Because WWE's fucking dumb and they don't know how
They
to
have
make
3
stars.
hours of Monday
They
Night Raw.
don't know how to write and they don't know how to make stars. That's been a problem for 20 years.
What the heck do you call it? Ryback on his podcast at some point talked about how the Ryback,
Yes.
he said that they had a discussion with Triple H, and it was right around the time when he had the Hell in a Cell match with Punk, and more or less Triple H admitted that after John Cena, there is no longer going to be the guy. WWE is going to be sold on its brand, and there's not going to be one person that they try to.
Well, clearly that's
on.
fucking stupid because look at the ratings. They're fucking in the toilet. They've never been this bad.
And the sad part
Ever.
is Vince McMahon's going out there and is blaming the virus for the fact that the ratings.
No, the ratings were taking a shit even before the virus, and then they've done nothing but shitty things since the virus happened, including cut a bunch of people.
Right.
I'm still mad about that.
Yeah.
I can't believe they cut Mike Chioda of all the people.
Now he's in AEW.
Counting the 4.
All elite. But those are the kind of the basic news and notes that kind of happened during the week that weren't necessarily having to do with the shows. So anyway,
Fun stuff.
yeah.
I mean, it was just more that we could talk about when we get to NXT that kind of came out this week. But
Well, yeah. Well,
you want to talk about it now?
why not? Why the hell not?
So this week on NXT, we had the Velveteen Dream going up against Finn Balor. And the winner of the match was going to be inserted into the NXT North American Championship ladder match that they're having tonight. And Finn Balor lost to Velveteen Dream. So now the Dream is in the actual ladder match. And a lot of people have, the outcry for this has been unbelievable. Ever since he has won, people have been like, hey, listen, Mars is the lead sponsor for everything WWE because they are responsible for Skittles and Snickers. So if you complain enough to Mars, they will pull their sponsorship from WWE.
That's what happened with Battle Royal or whatever the fuck it was going to be called.
Yeah, the Moolah.
And it's like, I get it. It's like, the fact is that WWE has tried to sweep under the rug everything that Velveteen Dream has done, and people.
Wait.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I was gonna say we need to say allegedly because Triple H came out in a couple interviews this
He was
week
like,
and said we have done our own internal investigation and we found nothing wrong. I consider this a dead issue at this point.
Here's my opinion on that. It's WWE has never cared about this kind of thing, and they never will. So that means they didn't do shit. There's fucking evidence like all over the internet, man. Like, he's the Sexatine Dream.
So, yeah, leveling accusations like that, it's like going.
Yeah, he's allegedly the Sexatine Dream.
My favorite part was somebody actually went and hacked his
Velveteen Kelly.
Yeah,
I've also heard R. Kelly Jr.
R. Kelly Jr. on his Wikipedia page. I was like, wow. And of course they did that, and then somebody goes, "Hey, it was his birthday the other day."
Chris Brown agreeing. Hunter is full of shit.
Well, they did their thing, and Hunter said that they did their investigation, and then freaking Nia Jax made some kind of a post after that, basically calling out WWE for the fact that they basically said that there was nothing that they found during their investigation of the Dream.
See, if there's a talent doing that, that tells me there's more to it. Because honestly, it's not just some rando making an accusation. There is like evidence. There are people who said, "Yeah, this has happened." There and like I was, I know you're not a big Dave guy, but I was listening to Big Dave the other day, and like no, Meltz.
Oh, fuck Meltzer.
But was it Meltz that said this? Actually, what was it Meltz or Alvarez? It was one of the two or something. Maybe I think it was them. They and if it wasn't, someone yell at me. They were saying like,
I'm gonna yell at you anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
They were saying like, backstage, like, with the whole the reckoning happened in the wrestling business with all the leader scheme people. They everyone was like, "Oh, that's such a surprise," like for certain people. When the Dream came up, people were like, "Oh," like they knew. Like it wasn't a shock for them that it was like that.
I guess my big thing is
like Matt Lauer.
Yeah.
I guess my 2 points that I wanted to bring up with this is, number one, should we really be surprised that WWE did their investigation into what happened with the Velveteen Dream when Vince McMahon years ago paid off people so that Superboy Jimmy Snuka could get away with murder until about he was ready to die anyway, and then he finally got nailed for what he did. And my other point I want to bring up, why Nia Jax? Who gives a fuck about Nia Jax? Anybody else could have said something, and I was like, okay.
It doesn't matter.
Fuck that bitch.
No,
fuck that bitch.
I don't care how good of a wrestler she is about the situation.
Bitch.
I don't give a fuck how good of a wrestler she is about the situation. She still works there.
First of all, Jeff, number one, never put the words good wrestler and Nia Jax in the same sentence.
I said not a before that.
It doesn't matter. The fact is that not a good wrestler. She's a terrible wrestler. She is a reckless wrestler. Her going out there and calling out people for doing something bad is like if I called you brainless.
Okay, there's a difference between her wrecking somebody in the ring and like fucking spraining their ankle or some shit,
or Chris Benoit,
and fucking Sexatine Dream allegedly sending his dick to teenagers.
Yeah,
like there's a huge difference between that, man. Like,
it's gonna be all fun and games until Nia Jax kills somebody in the ring.
Okay, then it's bad. But until then.
So, yeah.
Fuck. I'm the only one drinking. Bitches.
Yeah, I got stuff.
You got Jesus later?
I got Jesus later.
All right.
So, all right. Booyah. All right. So, do we want to go over NXT first and talk about Takeover, or do we want to?
Chris Brown, baby. Nia Jax is saying something because her fat ass is an attention hog. I 100% agree with that. And the only reason she is still employed in WWE is because she's related to The Rock. Changed my mind.
Yeah.
That's owner of the co-owner of the XFL.
Yes.
The Rock.
The Rock.
Who will make the XFL the greatest football league in the world in 3 years.
Perhaps he will. He'll have Baron Corbin on one of the teams.
Baron Corbin will be like 40 by then, but yeah, why not?
That's all right. The Rock.
What about Kyle Farnsworth? He
Why
plays
not?
semi-pro football.
Isn't Kyle Farnsworth like 40?
Yeah, he's like 45 and he plays semi-pro football and he's gone.
I'm telling you right now, no, that wouldn't work. The only person I could see, like, maybe at that age as a former baseball player is Jeff Conine.
Kyle Farnsworth is a good defensive end. He like wrecks these dudes. He's fucking crazy.
You need to bring back Herschel Walker, too.
He can still play.
He could probably still play.
Remember he fought in the cage?
Yeah.
And he beat the crap out of the dude.
I know, it's awesome.
They need
Yeah.
to be
That's like an anti-CM Punk.
So, ooh.
Anyway.
Not like it matters.
Now,
See, everybody knows. Everybody is absolutely right that I know that Nia Jax is fucking useless.
all right. Well, moving on.
Moving on.
We did have Monday Night Raw this week, unfortunately.
Oh? Did we now?
You know, a few things happened on
I'm
the
sure.
show. One of my favorite, quote-unquote, favorite things is we had our women's tag team champions going against a makeshift team, and they lost. Shockingly.
Against who?
It was Shayna Baszler and Asuka going against,
Oh, you mean the two
Bayley.
best wrestlers they have?
well, you know,
Wow. What a concept that the two best wrestlers would beat other wrestlers.
well, you know, but you make a makeshift tag team and you have them beat your tag team champions in a non-title match. It's just stupid.
I mean, yeah, the booking's fucking dumb. They should protect their fucking champions at all costs.
Why would they do that?
But I mean, specifically right here, they actually had a spot where Asuka was fighting on her own for a while because Shayna was having a brawl with your girl Nia Jax outside the ring, and then so basically it's Asuka fending for herself for like half the match, and then Shayna comes back out at the end of the match and saves the day and chokes out Bayley.
So Shayna and Nia Jax is the thing? Okay. You do, Bobby, this might be your dream here. If she if she fucks up against Baszler, she's going to get stiffed. Like, extremely hard.
I
Like,
can't
open
do
palm
that.
strike, like, to the eye. You're going to love that.
I want her to, like, break both of her arms somehow.
I mean, you already got her to tear both of her ACLs.
And it's funny to me
She
because,
was
like,
gone for like 2 years, bro.
the best part about that is he clamored for the freaking Punjabi prison forever.
Yes.
And he got the Punjabi prison, which was the greatest thing that WWE has brought back, wrestling match-wise, until they give us, like, the Kennel from Hell match.
Oh, my
You know,
God,
the big
stop.
boss match.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like the one thing that I actually wanted and predicted, and it actually happened, was Nia Jax actually tore both of her ACLs, which was the best thing that's ever happened to the women's division since Nikki and Brie Bella retired.
That wasn't that long ago.
I know. Again, something that's the best
The
part
women's
about it.
evolution's only happened for 5 years. It's been 5 years since Stephanie McMahon started the
Yeah, and the women's evolution has just been basically the four horsewomen and everybody else.
And Alexa Bliss.
No,
And
Alexa
Alexa
Bliss.
Bliss. Yes, you're right.
And occasionally Carmella. Carmella had spotlight for a little bit.
Asuka's been part of it.
Yeah.
No, but it's basically been the fucking four horsewomen because
Like everyone's like,
nothing says anything better than Bad Boobs McGee, freaking Becky Lynch, Bailey, Where's the Boss, and Sasha, Snoop Dogg's cousin, bitch, Crybaby Banks. Fucking tired of this shit.
well, I have to say something about Asuka. Like, people are like, "Oh, Asuka should have, like, she's getting buried. She was buried. She's buried." I don't ever want to hear that ever again. She's won every fucking thing she could possibly win.
She has.
Except for the
I
match.
just didn't like the fact that like they put the title on her and she lost it in a stupid way. Now, like, yeah, it helped build her character up a bit, and now she's got 2 matches, and that fed into some of the stuff that happened in SmackDown this week. But somebody did an interview with Asuka this week, and they just kind of asked her, like, well, how do you do your promos and, like, what have you? She's like, oh, I don't know. Whatever I just feel like doing it at that time, I just do. Because they can't really script her because
She speaks Japanese, and it's awesome.
yeah. But you could just tell from her actions, it's just like,
Her and Kyrie were fucking great together because you didn't understand what the fuck they were saying. It was better than any time that fucking Baron Corbin talked.
dude, did you see the time when the two of them were, I think it was on Talking Smack or whatever show they had the two of them on, and Kyrie's sitting there like playing
She's
Asuka's
playing
like,
the recorder, and then there's and then someone said it to Mask Off by Future. It was
so
awesome.
good, so good. But like Asuka's facial expressions were like perfect for it.
Because she's fucking awesome.
She is.
She's the best fucking wrestler they have.
Agreed.
In like all of WWE.
False. AJ Styles is better than her. AJ Styles could carry a mop to a 4-star match.
Okay, I still think Johnny Gargano is better than AJ Styles.
Yeah. He almost died.
I'm surprised. I really am surprised you did not end up in Florida at Full Sail University to beat the shit out of that dude.
I don't know who did it. It's not
Rich Holland.
Full disclosure, viewers.
It's Mike Clevenger.
Fuck him. Full disclosure, viewers. I haven't watched wrestling since WrestleMania. So, but I keep up with it. Here's the thing about WWE. They're too good at social media. You can keep up with any show and anything that happens in any show in real time because they're posting clips all the fucking time. And if you miss something, they're probably going to post it again overnight. They're going to post it again during the week. So, honestly, what's the point of even sitting down for 3 hours or an hour and a half since I watch on Raw or watching SmackDown for 2 hours when I can just fucking see everything on the internet?
And one of the things that I actually benefit from, because I can't watch Monday Night Raw. I try to. I can't. I try to make it, and I don't make it past 5 minutes, and I turn it off. And a lot of times what I do is I go onto the Wrestling Marks page, which is facebook.com/WrestleMarks, and I get all of my information that way. I find out who beat who and what's going on and everything. And they're very informative. I love that website. And I'm not just doing it just to, because of the fact that they have the partnership that we have, and we do our podcast live there over the last year and everything. No, they're good. I think this is it's the best thing that we have going, and I find out a lot of information because they have a lot of stuff that is going on with now. They actually have some funny ass shit too. I'm not gonna lie, but
it's such good shit.
It's such good shit.
But it's not just WWE. They also have AEW. They talk about NXT, and they do New Japan, which is a huge thing because I really don't know what's going on.
They've been doing a bit on Impact too. Now that Impact is not the joke that it was.
Impact's not a joke. I actually enjoyed seeing some stuff from Impact. I really just enjoyed Deonna Purrazzo. I think she's awesome. But
yeah,
she's a Jersey girl.
Yeah,
it's a Jersey thing.
It's a Jersey thing. So
Jersey thing.
Just like the Snooki.
I agree, Monsef. Asuka is the GOAT.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, even NXT, I watch NXT every fucking week for about 4 years.
Yep.
And then this year, I just found other stuff to do. Even in the time of Corona, I found other things to do with my time, like watch other shows or go outside and ride my bike for a while.
I will say
something like that.
I will say this, that there are certain things, because I remember a few years back before I moved down to Virginia, the only time I ever watched Monday Night Raw was to see what the Wyatt family did. Because that was the only thing I actually gave a shit about.
Yeah, back in the day.
Because it was like, all right, Wyatt family's done, so all right.
That's what got me back in. Oh, we all have lulls in the wrestling watching. I mean,
sure.
There was that time, after high school or during high school, where wrestling's not cool, so you don't watch wrestling.
Right.
Then there's and then about 2011, I started watching a little bit again, and then I watched for a year, and then it kind of stopped because I had other things to do, and then I started getting into it again about 2013, and then I started appearing on a pro wrestling radio show.
Yeah. And
then I started going to independent stuff, and
really independent shows are they're an interesting animal.
Yes, they are, and now I'm back in the lull again.
Yeah.
I know I'll fucking watching it eventually, but they gotta give me a reason to watch. I think AEW is doing a good job. However, they're still pretty young.
Yeah.
So maybe in a couple months or maybe 6 months or so, they'll be back on where they need to be. And I'll be able to watch some AEW, or I'll be able to watch some NXT if they build some people.
I'm not gonna lie. This Retribution storyline that WWE has come up with, I'm intrigued by it because I want to see where they're gonna go. Because a lot of like
Wrestling
this,
fun.
they have an opportunity to do something, something different with this. They have a chance to go out there and like, holy shit, I didn't see this coming. It's either going to be something where it's kind of like what they did with the Nexus, because I don't think anybody saw the Nexus happening when Wade Barrett won season 1 of NXT.
No.
Nobody saw that happening. That was a nice a different, refreshing thing that they did. And of course, John Cena buries it later that year. Shocked. But like when they did the whole storyline with the anonymous Raw general manager, they could have done all these different things, and it turns out to be Hornswoggle.
Right.
It's like, what are they going to do? Is it going to be something different? Is it going to be like, are we going to get Ciampa, who has been adamant for years saying that if I go to the main roster, I'm going to retire from professional wrestling because I don't want to wrestle on the main roster and travel 250, 300 days a year? Are we going to get somebody like a Donovan Dijakovic, who would be the perfect person to have inside of the Retribution because he's a big hulking dude who can actually carry himself in the ring. He's a really good wrestler.
He's a very good wrestler.
I think that he doesn't even need to be like the big mouthpiece. I mean, it really is like, what are they going to do with this? Are they going to do something good where it's like, oh my God, they have a chance to build some stars out of this? Or are they just going to do the same fucking bullshit?
All I know
booking does
is that if there's a wrestling Antifa, that Sami Zayn has to be in it.
I agree. I really agree. That I have this tinfoil hat theory that Sami Zayn is going to be the one who's in charge of Retribution.
He should be.
Especially because last night on Twitter, he actually posted, he said, screw AJ Styles, screw Jeff Hardy, and screw Gritty. Because he's a Canadians fan. And they lost to the Flyers, and I'm surprised I didn't tell Big Steve that he said that because I'm pretty sure Corey would find Sami Zayn and beat the shit out of him for saying that about Gritty.
Or he'd have a great Gatsby moving on his TV.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Hope Jesse's watching.
That would be great.
Wait. The Canadians got eliminated?
The Caps got eliminated?
Oh, okay. Well, no, he definitely knows that.
Yeah.
We all know that. So, the Red Wings aren't going to make it there until 2040.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, but we'll still win it more. Before you guys win it again.
Right. So anyway, Monday Night Raw.
Sucked.
Drew McIntyre
Monday Night Raw
called Randy Orton for what he did to Ric Flair last week, give him punt to the skull and all that jazz. And
so
McIntyre
with the skull punt, they like dim the lights and then like bring it back or whatever.
I understand why they did it. It's a 71-year-old dude who probably should not be taking any bumps for the rest of his life.
He shouldn't be at fucking like.
True.
He shouldn't be out doing anything. It's Corona time.
True, but if there was going to be a 71-year-old man who would actually take the bump of a skull punt, who would it be? It'd be Ric Flair.
No, Ric Flair would do anything for money.
He will.
He's got all his alimony payments.
Yeah, he's got like 5 alimony payments.
He got to send his stepdaughter to Florida.
Right.
He's a Gator.
So during like this whole segment, Retribution ends up attacking the production truck, which was just poorly done.
Well,
like more or less, it was just like randomly switching to different graphics and different cameras, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we found the camera where like the cameraman is actually following us. So I'm like, is the cameraman also part of Retribution? Where he's following them and like they go into the truck and like literally they just changed graphics. It wasn't like when Nexus literally destroyed the ring and destroyed everybody around it. I know there are less people there available right now, but it's like it feels like Walmart brand Nexus.
It's because because I saw this and like they did it in the middle of the show. It would have made more sense for them to do it at the end of the show, taking over shit, fucking shit up. Just wrecking the fucking broadcast at the end. Like if you wreck it in the middle and you come back and everything's normal, that's stupid.
Well, what they've been doing a lot is Retribution will come and do their thing, but then they kind of have wrestlers that kind of then stand guard for like the rest of the show. But eventually, we did have another segment with Orton and McIntyre at the end of the show, and I understand we're going into SummerSlam. You want to have your money angle at the end of the show to sell the show. I'm guessing Retribution is going to be the ones at the end of SummerSlam standing tall.
I think we're going
doing something.
I think we're going to find out who the leader of Retribution is tomorrow night.
That's
I agree too with that. But basically, Shawn Michaels came out at the end of Monday Night Raw to kind of call out Orton for like, dude, Ric Flair has had you under his wing for 20 years. He thinks you are going to be the one who beats his record, and you showed a lot of disrespect for him, and you're not showing any appreciation for what he did for you. And so Orton comes out and he not only RKO's Shawn Michaels, but then gives him the skull punt. The thing that was like disappointing about this is like the skull punt. You used to be like dead. You were
coming back for months. That was like a kill off.
Right. Yeah. And not only did Michaels eat the RKO, he ate the skull punt, and like he was just like
kipped up.
He didn't kip up, but like he was dizzy. He was dizzy from taking, the RKO.
Are you sure it's because he's not cross-eyed?
I was about to say, do you think that skull punt did him a favor by knocking his eyes back into place?
No, it did not.
Do you think he misread it because he was seeing two different things at the same time?
Possibly.
I would say poor Shawn Michaels, but now he just kind of looks like the decrepit old man who shouldn't be out there anymore.
But he kind of no-sold the RKO and the skull punt, and but McIntyre came out to help out with Flair, and Orton did leave McIntyre laying on the ground at the end. He gave him an RKO, and that was how Raw went off the air. Wow,
that sounds like it sucks.
So there was that. We did get a new 24/7 champion this week.
We got a bunch of them, actually.
Shelton Benjamin ended up taking title from R-Truth because Benjamin was actually in the middle of a match going against Apollo Crews. Winner of this, so if Apollo Crews won, that meant that Lashley and Benjamin were banned from ringside at SummerSlam. Well, in the middle of the match, R-Truth was getting chased by Tozawa's ninjas. Yeah, Tozawa has ninjas with him now.
Wow, that sounds fucking dumb.
And the ninjas, ironically, kind of, at least for a little bit, people were getting confused with Retribution in the ninjas. Because they
shocked. I'm shocked that the WWE fucking did something stupid where people are getting confused with the ninjas and Retribution.
Anyway, before we get too far off topic, basically, so this distracts Benjamin. Cruz ends up getting a roll-up victory, and Benjamin kind of getting all fired up with what happened during the match, ends up leveling R-Truth and pinning him, winning 24/7 title.
Which then later on led to MVP and the rest of the Hurt Business challenging Apollo Crews to find two partners later on the show in a 6-man tag match. Now, the easy thing would have been in that situation would have been to just do Apollo Crews to team up with whatever Cedric Alexander and Ricochet are calling themselves, like the High Fly Crew or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But instead, he picked Ricochet and Mustafa Ali. Even though Alexander and Ricochet have been kind of like
they've been a team for a while.
Team for a few months now.
The Ricochet.
And
The Ricochet.
The Ricochet.
Yeah. And which was even funny too, because like during that 6-man tag match, because it was an elimination match too, and luckily the announcer announced at the beginning of the match that it was an elimination match between the two teams. Not wait until somebody got pinned and then like, wait, it's an elimination match.
Thank you,
and during that match, Cedric Alexander came out and beat Shelton Benjamin to become the new 24/7 champion. And ironically, I think it was the Hurt Business that actually went over in the elimination match, and Apollo Crews did eat the final pinfall in the match too, which I thought was stupid.
I like that, Chris Brown. Tozawa actually has the Lucha House Party as the ninjas. I like that.
Funny shit. But and then at the end of it, Shelton Benjamin ended up beating Cedric Alexander to win back the 24/7 championship. So now Shelton Benjamin is once again your 24/7 champion with the rest of the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I am enjoying the Hurt Business more and more each and every week.
Yeah, they're good.
I like it. It's something different, and I just enjoy it. It's good because number one, you get MVP. MVP is he's just money. That's what he is. Bobby Lashley, like I've said before, and I'll keep saying it on this podcast, Bobby Lashley as a heel has been 100%. I've been 100% on board with it because I like badass Bobby Lashley more than, well, with that, what are you going to say Vince McMahon said? And it's like, dude, you need somebody who's good on the mic to sell it for you, and that's what MVP is. And Shelton Benjamin is one of those guys that whatever he does, he's gonna make work. And the three of them working together has just been really good. And I think this is a solid.
This would be, to quote Vince, such good shit.
It is such good shit. I actually like.
It actually is. It sounds like it is good shit.
It is good shit. So I enjoy it.
All right. So we did find out that Zelina Vega has been poisoning Montez Ford, but somehow Montez
It is
Ford.
Red Solo Cup?
Yeah, probably.
Or is Black Solo Cup? Is that what are they doing?
Right.
It's
Red
red now?
I think it's red.
It's red again? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to make sure they get the smoke.
Gotta get smoke in the Red Solo
He
Cup.
doesn't want all that smoke.
So he smokes out of the Red Solo Cup.
I think so.
Huh.
But somehow Montez Ford was still able to overcome and beat Andrade on Monday Night Raw
Andrade
this
is
week.
being Almas.
That's right,
I miss when he was
Mr.
called
Flair.
Mr.
So
Is she pregnant or what?
supposedly what happened with her is one of these popped again.
Again?
Yeah, it's like she must have the worst plastic surgeon ever. This is like the third time.
Well, no, she's actually like it's different. Like for some women, like some of the women from back in the day weren't as athletic as her.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of the reason.
Why do you think I called her Bad Boobs McGee? So she's got.
I thought you were talking about Becky Lynch for a second. I'm like, why you call her?
I don't disrespect Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch
I was like,
was the only good, entertaining member of.
I thought you were insulting her. Like,
No, I like Becky Lynch a lot.
I love Becky Lynch. She's the greatest.
I like her. Bailey's just an ugly bitch.
She's a Manning though.
I know she's a Manning, and she just keeps. Just remember,
She has been women's champion for like a year.
Yeah.
You know, it's bad enough. Yeah. I mean, they got to give Sasha Banks needs a bottle and a diaper. Bailey needs to speak to the manager. Charlotte Flair needs somebody who's gonna fix her titties right, and Becky Lynch can't do anything wrong. There you go.
She's gonna have the son of the Messiah.
She's gonna have she's gonna give birth to if what everybody's saying is what they're saying, she's gonna give birth to Jesus Christ himself.
Perhaps.
And he's gonna have red hair and beard.
Well, she dyed her hair red.
Right.
Thank you, Jeff. You just killed the joke. Okay.
I killed your joke because it was inaccurate.
It's funny because it's true.
Well, I hope you enjoyed watching NXT Takeover tonight without Johnny Gargano doing shit. They'll be in catering with freaking Candice LeRae because neither one of them is doing shit tonight.
That's disappointing.
And while we have
that is erroneous.
Which
That's
is funny
actually erroneous
because Johnny Gargano won't be doing anything and eating and catering while Pat McAfee, a former NFL punter, is taking part. And not only is he taking part, who is he fighting tonight?
Adam Cole, baby! Somebody doesn't know anything about NXT this week, apparently. But that's all right. We'll get into that.
Shit, that's right. He did win the match.
Yeah, he did win the match.
You're a bait!
They don't call him brainless for no reason.
It's not just a gimmick, folks. It's a lifestyle. I completely forgot that he won that match.
Yeah, he almost died, but he won.
Because you can't kill Johnny Gargano.
Just like you can't kill Matt Hardy 2.0.
Just like Jesus Christ is the only person on the planet who can hit a curveball.
Not even true.
Am I wrong? Can Jesus Christ hit a curveball?
You cannot hit Shane Bieber's curveball.
Can he hit Harris's curveball?
He hit Adam Lucas.
Which one? The KY ball?
Vaseline ball. Yeah. So
he hit wild things.
You put snot on the ball?
I ain't got an arm like yours anymore, kid.
Put whatever I can on it. It's still my favorite movie of all time. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah? All right.
We wear caps and sleeves at this level, kid.
All right. We already went over the Vince McMahon and Braun Strowman opening segment here. We had another Big E versus Sheamus match. I don't know why they did this for a second week in a row, but they ended up having like Matt Riddle come out and your boy Baron Corbin and like causing distraction, which Big E ends up getting a roll-up victory. Like this week was the week of roll-up victories and it's like it makes it feel like a cheap, undeserved victory.
Sound like the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so
That's what the Attitude Era was.
it was.
Mm-hmm. Everyone clamors for that to come back, so maybe they're going to bring it back.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, never. Not in this culture.
Yeah,
You got a better chance of picking up sticks with your butt cheeks than you do with the Attitude Era.
I probably could do that. It's my ass is
Seth, I don't know who sang the Matt Hardy theme song, but I know the brainless one loves that song.
I can slam a tornado. I can dry up the sea, girl. I think it was Scott Stapp.
He can sing the crap out of that song with a
Where I live on the woman.
with home wide open. Yeah. All right. So yeah. I don't know if we're going to get more out of Big E and Sheamus here. I don't know if we're going to get a tag team match play between with Big E and the original Bro going against Sheamus and Corbin. Who knows? But
Shameless.
then we had the Lucha House Party, aka the Tozawa's Ninjas, going against Nakamura and Cesaro.
Is Tozawa a juggalo?
He could be.
He's got some ninjas.
He does have ninjas.
Mm.
It's possible. Maybe Tozawa's the head of Retribution.
Maybe he's part of Cobra Kai.
It could be. Chunk with the police.
Did you ever see the South Park where like they're playing ninjas?
Yeah.
And they think
There's the
they're,
10 stars.
they think they're ISIS. No. That was a different one. There's
Oh.
one where this is a newer one that came out a few years ago,
Mhm.
and they're playing ninjas. They're all dressed in black and stuff, but everyone thinks they're ISIS.
I have to watch that one.
And then they call it the ninja leader, but it's the ISIS leader.
I think I did see that one on. I think.
Yeah.
There was a SpongeBob episode where they had a brainless society. I think you should see that.
It's a good episode.
Yeah.
I love SpongeBob.
Yeah.
SpongeBob's a go.
Rise and shine, sailors.
So Cesaro and Nakamura apparently not going to be having a match on SummerSlam, defending their titles on Friday Night SmackDown. At the end of this match, after Cesaro and Nakamura win, we ended up having Lucha House Party actually had a little dissension within the ranks, where what's his name, the dude who had the meltdown during the draft, Kalisto ended up getting upset with Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik about, hey, you should have won the match, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, all right, I cannot wait until the draft happens in a couple of months and he gets drafted to another show and then he melts down again. That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, and
Literally.
I really just don't care about the Lucha House Party. That thing should have been dead and buried years ago.
Yeah. So.
I don't know who is in the Lucha House Party.
Lince Dorado, Grand Metallica, and Kalisto.
Grand Metallica.
Yeah. All right.
He still wrestles? I thought he would have been cut for sure.
Nope.
Remember when he was U.S. champion?
Yeah.
And then he cut that promo and he forgot what he was supposed to say.
It was so good. So good.
Yeah, he beat Ryback for the U.S. title at WrestleMania during the pre-show.
The Ryback.
And that's what led to Ryback
Pre-shows.
getting fired because he didn't want to work there anymore. Because I don't want this fucking bonus. I just heard more.
He was the pre-show stopper.
Moo. Remember the time his last match, he comes out and he does the CM Punk shit? That was so funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, this dude, and then he legally changes his name to Ryback.
Like
China.
the big guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Ryback, the big guy Reeves.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. That's like China changing her name to China.
To China.
Yeah.
China. So, all right. Then, randomly, Corey Graves interviewing Sasha and Bailey in the ring, but then they had Naomi come out.
Oh.
And then they decided, hey, Naomi decides that she is going to challenge both ladies. And then they're like, oh, let's set up a beat the clock challenge. And whoever has the better time of beating the clock, that's who is going to face Asuka second, because they have officially now announced that it's going to be two separate matches. Asuka's going against Bailey and Asuka's going against Sasha Banks. And Sasha had the first crack at going against Naomi, but again, I don't know who gave them the authority to just randomly like, hey, let's have a beat the clock challenge, and and whoever gets the better time.
It's one of those that get in the commentator's ear. It's like, now we just learned from backstage that this is legal. It's one of those things.
I mean, it definitely felt like Hampton Roads Championship Wrestling.
No, I said Beaver.
But so I mean, they did set this up as all right. Whoever wins more quickly will face Asuka second. And Sasha ends up beating Naomi in about I think it was like 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah.
And then clock is all set up. And matches going on between Bailey and Naomi, and
Which is I moan backwards.
right. And Bailey actually lost. I enjoyed the fact that they actually did not do your traditional beat the clock thing where it's like, oh, it gets down to 3, 2, oh, didn't quite get the.
And Bailey lost. Cool.
Bailey just lost.
Hey, they need to push Naomi harder, in my opinion.
No,
No.
Bullshit. Why not?
I'm not really.
What?
She's already had her chances and opportunities.
Cool.
She has injury issues.
And
I don't think she's she's got a cool entrance.
she's a good wrestler.
She is
I
a good
think
She's a good
wrestler.
wrestler.
She seems like she's
if
more
you
choreographed.
forgot-
She is more choreographed in her stuff in the ring than most of the women. In the
If you
division.
forgot, she went super viral at the Royal Rumble because of her moves in the Royal Rumble, and they should have taken advantage of that. And
They should have. When they brought her back with a lot of fanfare, and then
Yeah.
they randomly had her lose this #1 contender match like a week and a half into her return. It's like, it seemed like you were building towards her going against Bailey, but like literally you killed the momentum immediately.
had her lose to Carmella.
And then had her like reface Carmella the week after and have her beat Carmella to then be the #1 contender and then lose to Bailey. And it's like,
a 50-50,
why did you do that?
a 50-50 #1 contendership now. It's ridiculous.
Well, the thing also is like, I think the last time Naomi was out was like more to take care of her husband, who has his alcohol issues.
he does have a problem.
Yeah. So I think that was more of her.
The Uso
Bless
has
you.
a- the Uso has a problem. I don't know which one.
I think both of them do, but I think
Well, they're both the Usos, so
so.
yeah.
And technically, Uso means brother in Samoan.
Yes.
So when they call each other Us, bro,
Yeah,
that's
but they're the Uso because I don't know which one is which, even though they're not identical twins.
Because one's taller and 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah, I still don't know which one's which
but they know
because they look exactly the same in the face.
right. Well, it's just like the Olsen twins when they were kids. Like they looked exactly the
Yeah,
same.
they're for sure. Now you can tell them apart. But they're still the shittier actresses of the
Yes.
three
Yes,
because Scarlet Witch the fucking goat.
she is.
Agreed.
I, on a separate note, I cannot wait till they have Station in Wanda on Disney Plus. It looks
It's Vision.
Vision and Wanda.
Vision.
Yeah. Vision and Wanda.
WandaVision. It's called WandaVision.
Gonna be so.
I'm very excited for Disney Plus this fall.
Yes.
Got a lot.
Yeah, Mandalorian season 2.
Mandalorian. Oh, the Marvel shows. Dick's hard.
Yeah, just imagine they could give the Garganos their own show on Disney Plus.
Oh,
That will never
no.
leave his apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna look like Quagmire in that episode of porn.
Oh boy.
I was
You know,
watching
those-
internet porn.
They could be part of Retribution. Jackson Riker teased the return of the Forgotten Bums on Instagram.
Oh no, not the Forgotten Bums.
If they're part of Retribution,
Yeah, it's not
I can see that. I can see that.
I cannot see Jackson Riker being in WWE Antifa. All right, they did no, or Steve Cutler for that matter.
So
Maybe
anyway,
Wesley Blake probably doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, fuck, just give me something to do.
right.
I've been fucking wavering developmental for like 10 years.
Right. So anyway, so yeah, we're going to get. So at the end of Naomi beating Bailey, Sasha was like, "Yeah," she's all psyched, and it's like, because you know they've been playing with the tension between Sasha and Bailey for a little bit now, and it's like, all right, that they should have had the WrestleMania match like 3 years ago. It's probably going to happen at this year's WrestleMania. So. No, not Stacy and Wanda. I said Station.
Station. Who's
I don't know.
Station?
Have you seen Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey?
Yeah.
There is a character called Station. I don't know why.
Are you excited for Bill and Ted 3?
I am. Because I thought they did something interesting with Bogus Journey. It's like they could have just made Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure 2. And people are like, yeah, this is so good. But they went in a completely different direction. And I love that the Grim Reaper is back for Bill and Ted's,
It's Excellent Adventure 3. Bill and Ted 3. It's called Bill and Ted 3.
Yeah, well, Bill and Ted 3. I'm excited to see what they come up with for this. And I want to see them end up back at the Circle K like they did at the beginning. And somehow if they could get the GOAT, who has been dead for quite some time, to somehow be in this movie, I think it would be fantastic.
Which GOAT we're talking about?
George Carlin.
Apparently he is in it.
Sweet.
Apparently he's in it as like CGI weird shit. Kind of like, you know, how they did in Rogue
Princess
One.
Leia, and then with
Rogue One with
Tarkin.
Tarkin, yeah. Who've been dead for like years and years.
Yeah, wasn't Rogue One where they found out that Rey is a Palpatine?
No.
That was Rise of Skywalker.
Oh.
Rey is a Palpatine.
Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah, you know.
Kevin. Yeah, that's the Kevin.
That's a Kevin.
All right, so on the show we had Jeff Harvey.
Jeff Harvey at the Summerfest.
At the Summerfest, before Summerfest, with an Intercontinental title match against AJ Styles. So one thing they did is AJ cheap shotted Jeff Harvey on his surgically repaired knee, and Hardy was back with the doctors, and doctors like, oh man, I don't know, you shouldn't wrestle, blah blah blah. Eventually, you get to a point where he gives Hardy a knee brace. And he's like, hey, man, as long as you can stand the pain, I'll clear you to wrestle tonight. The match was not that great, but, when you're dealing with, like,
A drugged out Jeff Hardy, yes, we know.
part of your storyline is, like, all right, he can't move like he normally does. Like, the match was not all it could be, but it ended up where there was a spot where AJ was going for the Styles Clash, trying to finish off Hardy, and Hardy kicks him with the leg that had the knee brace, and it knocked Styles down. Swanton Bomb, 1, 2, 3. We got a new Intercontinental Champion.
I can hardly contain my excitement.
But
Jeff Harvey.
put a pretty good.
Wow, you hate Jeff Harvey.
Oh yeah, he does.
I can't stand Jeff.
Why do you hate the Harvey boys?
Because I think he's overrated.
Wow.
And then when I explained to him why Jeff Hardy is not overrated, he got mad because they're like, well, I just don't like him. I'm like, well, that's not a reason to call him overrated.
No, he's one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen in my life.
So
He's Jeff Hardy.
He is fucking JD Drew.
Why?
He has a $1 million talent, but he's got a 5-cent brain.
Okay, well, that's true.
that's Nuke Lelouch.
And it is Nuke Lelouch too. But
That's
it's also
Mike
JD
Clevenger. But
Jeff Hardy could have been one of the biggest wrestlers in the entire industry.
He was the
for a
biggest
very long
wrestler
time,
in
But he
2009.
decided that he needed to do drugs and drink, and that is not a good combination.
hey, maybe that's.
Hulk Hogan did that.
Yeah, he did.
Well, that's because Hulk Hogan is a goat. Jeff Hardy is not a goat. Jeff Hardy is just a goat of
Hey.
getting high.
Yeah, you know who's a goat and getting high and being a goat? Lane Staley did it too.
Yeah.
He actually died. So Jeff Harvey is still alive, and
Yeah.
I
He
I don't know
he was supposed to
what I'm trying to
overcome his demon.
what I'm trying, yeah, allegedly. I'm trying to say is that it's for people like that, it's difficult to
The victory-
overcome that. Like that, like if you're an addict and you just, it's tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know his brother got over all what.
Yeah, his issues.
Like his issues were actually worse. Like than
That's because Matt got so high he thought he could slam a tornado.
yeah.
Well, the thing with
We also thought he was going to die in like 2010. So
right. Well,
like legitimately going.
with Matt, most of his problem was like he got addicted to pills.
The pills. Yeah.
And-
And pills are bad, man. Don't do pills, man. I found out a guy from high school died from mixing the alcohol and the pills. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But don't get into, like, I remember one time I had surgery on my nose
Mhm.
because I had to get my septum fixed. It didn't stop me from snoring, but I had to get it fixed. And they gave me Percocets. I
Yeah.
was taking Percocets, and I'm like, this feels real great. So I got rid of him.
Yeah.
Because I
It felt
knew it felt
yeah.
too good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, if I keep going with this is not going to end up well.
Yeah.
So maybe I had the wherewithal to do that, but some people don't.
And yeah. The
Vicky's terrible.
Hardy brothers don't seem like they would be able to.
No, exactly. That's why, I mean, fortunately for Matt, he has Ruby Sky to keep him in check. He's got his kids.
Yeah.
And Jeff has his kids and his wife.
But he seems more of a free spirit.
He's way more of a free. He always has been.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Matt. He has 0 tattoos, and you got Jeff, who has 100 million tattoos. Free spirit.
He is a free spirit. But Hardy winning the Intercontinental title, they have not officially announced this, but I'm going to guess we're going to possibly see AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy as a rematch forced at SummerSlam, at Summerfest. Yes, if you can hear that, we do have a next door neighbor who has a stereo system so loud in his car that it actually causes this house to rock.
That's awesome.
The worst part is it sounds like shit.
Dude,
It'll be one thing.
no, he's got the bass turned all the way up.
First of all, the big thing is that I have no problem with people having their sound systems in their cars. Hey, you want to put all that money in there and you want to freaking blast out your eardrums while doing 85 on 264, that's on you. But when your thing sounds like shit, I don't want to fucking hear that, man.
Dude, he doesn't have the bass level set right, man. He's got the bass turned all the way up because like, oh man, I gotta hit that bass. That's how your system go. But no, you gotta have a nice balance.
Only Rob Bass could put that much bass into it.
Exactly.
It takes two.
It does take two. So I think we're going to see a rematch of this match possibly tomorrow night. Not announced in any way, but we did get once again another appearance of Joe Parks on WWE TV.
Who's Joe Parks?
Joe Parks is Abyss's alter.
Oh, it's Abyss. Oh, okay.
So Joe Parks,
yeah, he's a producer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, Abyss, back when he was in Impact,
Mhm.
there was a point where he had a split personality.
Yeah, he was Joe Parks.
And Joe Parks and Abyss, but they have Joe Parks has showed up for AJ Styles the last 2 weeks.
So are we gonna have Abyss in WWE?
I don't know if he's going to be
hope
anything more than just be like AJ's accountant or like his stats guy.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind seeing him. I think he would like to wrestle some matches in a WWE ring.
Sure.
Especially against one wrestler in particular. I think that ship has sailed, though.
Well,
Who, the Undertaker?
That's the undergoer.
right.
I
We'll go.
I like his last match.
So
I'm glad he went out that way.
He fought a goat, too.
yeah. Yes.
You know what I'm saying.
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I can't. We don't want to be Tom Brenneman now.
Yeah. All right. So another thing that happened this week was originally the Mandy versus Sonya match was going to be a hair versus hair match. And then again, I don't know how Sonya Deville got the power to do this, but she turned the match into a no DQ match and turned it into a loser leaves WWE
Hey,
match.
she almost got kidnapped this week. I think they just gave her one. All right.
I think and that has a lot to play with it because
I think that's a little bit of something. I think
I think that she just wants. I really do think now that she's going to lose tomorrow, and that she just needs a break to just kind of get like her mental state back to where it was. Although Mandy Rose turned out to be the unnamed friend that was in the house when it all happened. So
Wait, they actually made a story.
no, they didn't make it into a story, but basically last week
she was at the house when it happened.
yeah, basically this dude was stuck into the house.
Yeah,
kidnapped.
stalker.
Yeah. I know. Sorry, I ran it in my show. I put it on the news. It was a news story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think part of this though, like there's been interviews with Sonya where she's talked about like how she really wants to be an actress, and how she feels that if she was given the same opportunity Charlotte has been given, she would be just as big of a star as Charlotte. And like she was like going, hey, Charlotte has knocked it out of the park every time she's been given the opportunity. This is nothing against her, but I think there's a bit of the frustration. I think there's a bit of the like, all right, how long do I have to be an actress before they're going to be like, we're going to pass on you. So I'm
She's
wondering
still
if
pretty young. She's like 25, 26 years old.
but to build up a Hollywood
Yeah,
career,
yeah.
you need
Well,
time and you need to like devote yourself like 100%, I think.
as a woman, I think. I mean, like we saw Dave.
Unfortunately,
That is sad reality because we saw Dave like be 45 years old and become Drax. Dave the Destroyer.
And honestly, and John Cena had to do a lot of shitty WWE based movies before he finally got a movie that wasn't WWE based. And now he's doing Bumblebee and he's in the new Fast and the Furious.
And you see, The Miz has a new show coming out on NBC.
Cannonball.
Yeah,
so
It's actually pretty.
yeah, and it's pretty cool. He's land. Always good to see our land people get
Right.
recognition.
but now this match is going to be basically a no DQ. And
Loser leaves town.
loser leaves town, and you know,
Loser leaves Orlando.
right.
Get out of our bubble.
So,
The WWE bubble.
but again, it was like one of those like kind of nonsensical things where it's like, well, who gave you the authority? I mean, it was a good promo. Like Mandy cut a good promo before that too, but and Mandy's promo was kind of along the lines of like going, hey, I know the real Sonya Deville still in there, and you know we could work this out. And Sonya was like, going, no, I just want to kill you. So
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
So there
So
was that.
it was going to be a hair match.
It was going to be a hair
Well,
versus
she
hair
already
match.
cut Mandy's hair.
Well, it was going to be like Vince McMahon versus Donald Trump, the battle of the billionaires.
Or
Vince
an
McMahon-
actual hair match, Victoria versus Molly Holly.
Yes.
Right.
So
Or
that
Kurt Angle versus Edge.
was a good one.
Right. Or everybody in the straight edge society who just voluntarily shaved their head.
Serena.
Yeah.
And Luke Gallows, who kind of needed to because they look like Jesse.
Festus.
Just no, he looked like Festus, but not not that Jesse.
Not that, yeah.
Yeah.
The other Jesse.
The other Jesse.
Ooh.
Wait, I'm the other Jesse.
But we did have the end of the show where Bray was doing an episode of the Firefly Funhouse, and Braun was in the middle of the ring, ends up like tisming out and deciding that he like, because Braun knows everything about Bray Wyatt, he's like, oh, I know where he's doing this thing. And he ends up interrupting the Firefly Funhouse and destroys Bray Wyatt, destroys all of the different puppets in the thing. Ends up, I mean, obviously it looked fake, but Braun did a choke slam onto the concrete. Rest his head on a pillow made of concrete. So Braun choke slams Bray onto the concrete, and you know, it's like Braun is the heel in this thing because he beat the heck out of Bray Wyatt, and he's like, you know, he had this like sadistic look on his face, like he was happy to destroy Bray Wyatt, and you get all these medical personnel from a local medical facility.
Oh God.
Loading up Bray Wyatt into the back of this ambulance, and the ambulance starts driving off, and then all of a sudden stops, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And out emerges the Fiend, and they have like all the like lighting, and like they've got a fog machine back there. I'm like, this is so over the top that like it's kind of bad, but it was kind of awesome.
You can't even hit it.
Yeah, it's like this is supposed to be like a horror movie,
Right.
But WWE version of a horror movie where it's like you think you've killed the dude, and it's like, no, he's just changed into something else. But yeah,
It's a good thing it didn't happen in Portsmouth because it wouldn't end up at Murder View.
right.
Sad. No, not sad.
But that was how SmackDown went off the air last night. Now, would you prefer to get into SummerSlam predictions, or do we talk NXT and then do predictions all at the end?
Those are the predictions all together. So
All right.
Three through.
Summerfest.
Yeah.
Well, shit. I'm gonna get in there for you.
All right, do it.
I have to pee for a second.
All right.
You guys get into it, and I'll rejoin.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You know
So you know what I'll do, El Jefe? I'm going to talk about the thing you probably don't want to talk about, which is Johnny Gargano almost dying.
No, don't even think about it.
He was almost dead. All right. Yeah, you take over, Petey.
Oh, Pete's taking over.
Petey's taking over.
Yay.
All right. Thank you, Petey. You're gonna do great.
Better than me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we had Johnny Gargano going against Ridge Holland, and this was one of those matches that Regal put together of all the people who did not get pinned in the triple threat matches. So specifically here, there was a spot where Ridge Holland went to do like a scoop slam and just dropped Gargano on his head.
Now, that match was actually recorded at first, and they actually had to stop it because of the fact that Gargano was basically knocked out, and then they had to come back and retape the ending of the match where Johnny Gargano went over on Ridge Holland. And I'm just glad to see that he's okay, because that could have ended a lot worse than it really was.
It's scary when you see this stuff. It's like, you know, as the wrestlers say, like, hey, we know we're not doing ballet. We risk our bodies. We put everything on the line. I mean, I have a ton of respect for anybody who goes into the ring and does stuff like that. Even Ron Zombie, he goes into the ring and he took a bad chair shot.
The chair, Dad.
But you know, kudos for Gargano finishing this match. I mean, the one question I would have is if he had a concussion, like, I hope they did some sort of protocol to make sure he didn't have a concussion.
That's
Why are you taking Petey out of the shot?
That's funny.
Yeah, he deserves camera time. So
Yeah.
So Gargano, you know, groggy the rest of the match, but finished the match and went over. Thanks to using a couple tactics from the dirtiest player of the game, distraction from his wife, and then a low blow, and then a roll up. So Gargano will be challenging Brainless One. He will be at Takeover.
I forgot. Okay, I'm sorry.
He will be at
I knew
Takeover
he
and going
would,
for
too.
the North American title. So, yep. So,
Wow, Nicole just said that Petey is better than I am.
right? Yeah.
That's something, isn't it, Petey? I hope you have a good bad of brainless then.
He's going to.
He's like, I don't need to come up with a brainless. I sit next to it right now.
Yeah. All right. So Dakota Kai won in virtually a squash match, but this was just to set up her match going against Io Shirai.
Petey. Gotta go. I need my chair back.
Come on, Bubs.
Come on, Petey.
Petey.
Come on, Petey.
Petey's like, come on, bro.
I know you live here. My ass is in the camera.
I'll make the.
You'll
get him.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep talking, Brainless One.
So we also had,
Thank you, Petey.
Jay said, we had basically a squash match between Dakota Kai and
I forgot who she was going again. Not going to work here
and
anymore.
Rachel Gonzalez, I think, was the girl's name.
Raquel Gonzalez.
So basically,
Dakota
Kai was kind of calling out, mocking, taunting Io Shirai. Io Shirai comes out, and then Raquel Gonzalez boots her from behind.
Wait, weren't they like allies?
Not now.
Oh,
You know how the women's division works in
I
WWE.
know.
They flip flop all the time.
And they're all BFFs when they're all heels, and they're all BFFs when they're all faces.
And they're all BFFs together when they're on Instagram.
So, but the attack from behind, it definitely adds another element into the match happening tonight. And Raquel Gonzalez is going to be in the corner tonight of Dakota Kai. You know, I hope it's not like one of those matches where everything is like where it's a ton of outside interference. But I guess we'll see where this whole thing goes. But it was a good way, I think, to add a little more drama into this match, because I don't think too many people are like, yeah, Dakota Kai is going to be Io. At least you add this element in, you're like, maybe.
I mean, yeah, Shirai should win every fucking match that she's ever in, but
She's another dope.
weird how every Japanese woman they get is
Is a goat.
usually their best wrestler that they
Yeah.
have.
Except for Bull Nakano.
Okay, that was 25 years ago.
Still.
He doesn't ever let that go.
I don't think
He
Bull
doesn't
Nakano
let
was doing
most
it.
things go.
It was Bull Nakano against Under Blaze.
I mean, he still goes on and on about my
At
cat who
SummerSlam.
passed away like a year and a half ago about eating his sandwich.
The cat ate my sandwich.
And he got dog splash. It was fine.
It was fine.
Thanks, Brady.
But I do appreciate them adding this as an extra thing. So.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
we're bad.
We are.
They're bad. I'm brainless.
All right. So then we had Legado del Fantasma going against Breezango and Isaiah Swerve Scott.
What is El Hijo del Fantasma call himself now?
It's Santos Escobar.
Santos Escobar.
Who sounds like a bad guy in the
So
bad
I haven't seen him really wrestle yet, but I've seen pictures of him, and I'm like, that guy looks like a star.
Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza. And like the thing is, they've been kind of fusing these couple storylines together for a while. Like Isaiah Swerve Scott is going to eventually go against Escobar for the Cruiserweight Championship. And they have a number one contendership match pre-show for TakeOver tonight. And Breezango is going against like Lorcan and Birch versus Legado del Fantasma.
They're actually having matches on the pre-show now.
They have one pre-show match.
Oh,
But
interesting.
number one contendership. So, one thing that I've complained about the go-home shows for NXT before they have like their takeovers is they don't feed a lot into the storylines. It's because
It's
usually back like a year ago before they were on USA. It was like going, all right, they pre-taped these weeks ahead of time. I understood, but they continued doing that where they wouldn't actually feed into the storylines that were actually going to their like.
They would just do packages.
Yeah,
they would just do packages.
They would do packages and like
which I don't know
random matches.
That's what the WWE does very well.
They
packages.
The packages are really good.
It's just like I want a little bit more of a build before the go home show. Like the main event shows Beyond Last on the go home show, and you have the two like motherfuck each other.
Yeah.
On like Pat McFee and Adam Cole, for example.
Baby.
And then brawl happens, and then it says you get a taste. And it sets you up for that match on Saturday or Sunday.
Right. But they didn't do that for a while. This show actually did do a lot to kind of build
the tone.
No, I mean it's the big show for them. It's the
30th.
It's the porn takeover.
Right. XXX.
XXX.
Velveteen Dream.
With the Velveteen Dream. Probably should not have him on this show.
But he's going to be.
Fuck.
So. But Legado del Fantasma won this match. But again, this was more, I think, to set up the Cruiserweight match in the future between Escobar and Swerve.
Yeah, and I want to see that.
Yeah.
I think Swerve Scott's a fucking great wrestler. I think Santos Escobar looks like a star. I haven't seen him wrestle yet. But he looks like the pictures I've seen of this guy, I'm like, that guy has something about him.
He had a hell of a match against freaking Drake Maverick, too.
Yeah.
Did Drake Maverick actually leave?
No, he
got a contract.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Yeah.
I'm glad they used his personal pain
for a storyline.
But
And then they undercutted him on the money on the contract and told him to go to NXT. And he's like, yeah, why am I not going to want to get paid less to work on a better show?
Right.
Yeah.
If
I'm in WWE, it's like, give me an NXT. Like, I don't like Ciampa. Like,
and
I don't have to fucking travel anymore.
Right.
It doesn't have to come out of my pocket.
Right.
So why the fuck would I want to be on the main roster?
Yeah. All right. They had another match, and this one, like, it's not really setting up for this week. It's probably setting up for something in the future.
Right.
Well, it's definitely setting up for something in the future. Is we had a tag match with Shotzi Blackheart and Rhea Ripley going against Mercedes Martinez and Aaliyah.
The Robert Stone brand.
What?
Yeah, the Robert Stone brand.
So I know Aaliyah's in the Robert Stone brand.
And Mercedes Martinez.
So they put those two together.
Yep.
Aaliyah's been in developmental for like 18 years, and she fucking sucks.
She's Crash Davis.
She's legitimately crashed. She's Crush Davis.
Right.
She got a negative like 2 WAR in like three games. So like.
Right. But
She's not
basically,
good is what I'm getting at.
basically this was really setting up for Rhea Ripley going against Mercedes Martinez in the future. Like, end of this match, Rhea Ripley like power bombed her onto the concrete.
Oh yeah.
That match will happen at some point. I'd like to see the two of them because like they're two, like, as far as the women wrestlers, the ones that like bring it when they're in the ring.
Yep.
So I want to see the two of them in a match. All right. Then we had R. Kelly Jr. going against Finn Balor
Velveteen Dream.
to qualify for the North American title match. Like, this was like one of those matches where like it was shenanigans after shenanigans after shenanigans, like overbooked to the T. It looked like the first few episodes of AEW at the end, where like anybody and everybody came out. Like Cameron Grimes came out, was like on top of a ladder, fooling around. Johnny Gargano came out. Like anybody and everybody came out. Ended up being like a distraction for Finn Balor, and Balor ended up getting the Purple Rainmaker and losing.
Oh, that's what he's calling it now.
Yeah, I think that's what
they call it. It's elbow drop, right?
Yeah.
They'll probably call it something like
Purple Rainmaker from the Velveteen Dream.
purple.
Was he watching Nickelodeon when it happened?
Probably.
Well, what
That would
we
be
call
orange.
it, but there was a point in here though where Timothy Thatcher was, he and Balor kind of got into it, and that actually is now going to be a match at Takeover tonight.
Ooh.
And Timothy Thatcher, if you have not seen him, like they brought him in to be the replacement for Pete Dunne in the Broserweights,
So
because
Yeah,
Pete Dunne's
he
stuck
can't-
in England.
yeah, he can't go. He gets to be in NXT. Is NXT UK doing anything right now?
I think they're going to be doing something in like October.
Huh.
Because they basically shut it down because like there was a lot of wiener steam going on, and
Oh yeah, that's right.
and they're considering shutting down NXT UK. But I think
Well, I mean, half the fucking people are wieners steaming.
right. So I think they finally like going, all right, we have sorted out.
It's like
all the-
who is not wiener steam here? Pete Dunne and like
Walter.
and like
and
Imperium, that's it.
and it's gonna be Pete Dunne versus Imperium forever.
and then what's his name? Robbie, what's his name's daughter maybe?
Robbie
Robbie
Zion
Brookside.
Brookside.
Yeah. And
And Kaylee Ray and Tony Storm. So it's gonna be all the women, Imperium and Pete Dunne.
and Cassius Ono and catering.
Chris
Cassius
Hero.
Ono is not employed by WWE.
His name is
anymore.
Chris Hero.
That's because he likes to eat heroes.
Mr. Hero, like the Mrs. Dad.
Yeah, I wonder if he's had a hero at Zero Subs.
I wonder if he's had a hero, Mr. Hero. Mr. Hero's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, the Roman burger, holy shit.
We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go to Cleveland, and we're gonna.
Well, we're gonna go to Gargano's Pizza, and we have to go to
Mr.
Mr. Hero. Mr. Hero is much easier to go to than Gargano's Pizza for sure.
Okay,
Because there's a chain in Cleveland.
so
Mr.
okay,
Hero, yeah.
yeah, all right.
I still want Gargano pizza.
I've never actually been there, so because I didn't know it was a thing until
Until Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah, until he went there, I was like, what?
Could you imagine if like?
This is in Lakewood. I don't go up there.
Could you imagine if he was in the pizza place when Adam Cole said all that shit about fucking Gargano's kid and all that shit? Jeff was like, no, you can't say that. Gargano is land.
Okay.
Land.
I don't own any Johnny Gargano shirts, but I own an Adam Cole baby shirt. So what does that tell you how I feel about Adam Cole baby?
That he's a goat. So
Why don't you own a Johnny Gargano shirt?
I should.
I'm surprised
All
by
the
that.
designs,
That's probably a
his
big.
designs aren't really my thing.
So
all right.
Like,
that's actually probably.
So what you're saying is it's not good shit, pal.
no, and you're kind of kiddish.
All right.
Honestly, maybe they're better now that he's a heel. But back in the day, they're not.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, just the designs just haven't been.
You might want to go to, I think it's the special WWE T-shirt site that they have, the one where all the shirts are never on sale. They might have like a Gargano Cleveland shirt if you want to take a look.
Oh, the brown one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that was the thing when they did NXT Cleveland a few years ago, a couple years ago, I think now.
Right.
They haven't done the NXT here in like 3 years.
I know.
You know what it was? It's because the dude with the man bun ruined it for everybody.
Stop.
The guy who smelled like
He smelled
$2 Walmart,
so fucking
$1.96.
bad.
$1.96 Walmart cologne and barbershop powder.
It wasn't that expensive, dude.
It was. I had to give him a lot of credit. And he had a man bun.
And he smelled really fucking bad, like most wrestling shows do. If you're a wrestling fan watching this right now, which I'm sure you are, all two of you, please make sure you shower before you go to a wrestling show. I'm that serious. Like,
I know.
yeah, you know how I feel about that. Like, everyone smells so fucking bad in those things.
Yeah, wait a minute. I shower before I go to
Yeah, I do too. I shower twice, so I'll make sure it's not me.
Wait, you're supposed to shower before a wrestling show?
Yeah. Anyway, last thing here was Pat McAfee and Adam Cole, baby. Did have a face to face here, and Pat McAfee actually brought some NFL veterans with him to kind of be his backup after Adam Cole, baby, has the Undisputed Era with him. So, but it's a nice, good segment. I don't think it's going to be like WrestleMania 2 here.
Or 11.
Or 11.
WrestleMania 11 when Lawrence Taylor had all those goats with him. He had the goat.
And then Mongo.
Reggie White. He had the goat Carl Banks. He had the goat Ricky Jackson. He had that bum. I would say Chris Spielman is a goat, but he's not. But, I mean, he had Chris Spielman. Then he had that bum Steve Mongo McMichael. So, the worst wrestler in the history of professional wrestling, Steve Mongo McMichael.
He beat out Ron Zombie?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, I thought they did a pretty good job of doing a final sell for McAfee going against Adam Cole, baby. And I think, again, we kind of discussed this last week, but you could tell McAfee's been putting in the work. Like, I think Adam Cole, baby, is going to take him to a good match. I'm cautiously optimistic that this match is not going to be too terribly bad. I think they're going to gimmick some stuff up to with having the NFL players.
It won't be a dumpster fire.
Yeah. It's not going to be like Mayweather going against Big Show. I know that's one of your favorites. WrestleMania 24, baby.
Hey,
Orlando.
you guys be watching the Iron Mike fight when he comes back in November?
It's going to be great. Him going against Roy Jones Jr.
I want to see that.
I do.
Did I tell you guys Jesse called me last week?
No. Wait.
Called you what?
He called me on the phone. Dumb shit.
I know that.
Yeah. He called me last week. He's like, "Hey man, you guys watching a stupid fight somewhere?" I'm like, "No, we can't do anything."
Yeah, it's like I'm not going to go to Buffalo Wild.
I'm not gonna risk Corona at Buffalo Wild Wings to watch a fucking UFC fight. I'm just not.
Right. So, but anyway, that was NXT for this week. So
yeah, good shit, pal.
So do we want to go to Takeover or SummerSlam?
Let's do Takeover because
Takeover porn.
Yeah. XXX.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Vin Diesel's gonna be.
Is this gonna be as good as WrestleMania porn?
No.
Because WrestleMania porn was fucking awesome.
That was a top 5 WrestleMania.
Oh, for sure.
And I know he disagrees, but WrestleMania 31 was also, in my view, a top 5.
I agree with that too. And then it all went downhill from there, didn't it?
It all went downhill after Triple H beat Sting.
At WrestleMania 30. A WrestleMania play button.
Play button. That was one of the greatest intros ever, though. The play button intro was awesome with LL Cool J.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
And then Arnold was.
Yeah, we have WrestleMania Buccaneers this year.
Right.
There was WrestleMania Cowboys. There was WrestleMania Jester Hat.
Right.
Then there was
WrestleMania Sun.
Then there was WrestleMania New York City, even though it was
WrestleMania Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
WrestleMania the Mall.
WrestleMania Pirate Ship.
So.
What next year's WrestleMania? What? WrestleMania Hollywood?
Yeah.
If they end up in Hollywood.
We've already done that though.
They did do WrestleMania in Hollywood. Those vignettes were great. Like Triple H is William Wallace, and then JBL is like Jack Nicholson from A Few Good Men.
Yeah. That was good.
It's such good shit.
It was good shit. Now, I can't even get excited for WrestleMania anymore because they fuck it up every year.
Soon.
If your WrestleMania was okay though.
Although if it is in Orlando, I'm going to try to go next year.
Yeah.
Oh, are you now?
I'm going to try.
Again?
So try again.
Hmm.
I know I said that after every other
If
time.
first you don't succeed, you could dust yourself off and try again. Try again. Remember that song? Yeah,
Yeah,
by Aaliyah.
All right.
it is by Aaliyah.
All right.
Dust yourself off and try again.
There was actually an Aaliyah that was actually talented.
Yeah,
Then she died. Rip.
Yeah.
Plane crash.
another R. Kelly.
They did.
person.
Yeah, she was. If she was alive, he would have been gone for way before.
Maybe he was the one that
This year.
sabotaged her plane. Tinfoil hat.
Ooh.
Hate to say
Look
it.
at you.
Brainless one.
The brainless
The
one.
whole noodle is
The
working there.
big brainless one. Yeah, look at that.
Crazy.
All right. Let's get into some NXT Takeover matches.
Yes.
What's the pre-show match?
The pre-show match is Breezango versus Oni Lorcan, Danny Burch.
1-2 still happening.
The 1-2 still happening
Wow.
versus Legado del Fantasma, and whoever wins this will be the #1 contender. They have not mentioned whether or not this is elimination or just whoever gets the fall.
Oh,
And-
so it's like
and-
Heavyweight Championship
And
wrestling.
Imperium is still tag team champions, correct?
They are still tag team champions.
Are they? They're in Florida though, right?
They are now because they had a match against Undisputed Era a couple
Okay.
weeks ago.
Okay, so they're able to be there.
Yes.
Yes,
How do they
it's-
get? How do they get there?
I'm gonna guess they probably got on a kayak and went from like Italy and just
I'm sure.
Took the
I'm
win.
sure Vince called up his buddy Big Don there, and said, "Hey, pal, I need a favor. I need these guys over here from England. Can you do that for me?"
That's
Yes.
such good shit.
Yes, I think I can, because I am the president.
I am the president. I am the goat
Ever-
of presidents.
No.
Just
No, he's not. So he's the opposite.
deny it all you want.
He's the actual opposite of that. But
Don't worry. As long as he keeps doing what he's doing, it's going to be. Don't worry. I'm going to make America brainless again in 4 years.
yeah, I mean, I think we're already there, bud.
we're already there, pal.
All we need at some point is during one of these debates between
Biden and Trump.
Grandpa Joe and Donald Trump is they just got to start throwing poop at each other.
You know what? I was really hoping this year. There were rumors that a man from Ohio was going to run for president this year.
Which one? Me?
Jerry Springer.
Please.
I wanted to see Jerry Springer versus
Jerry,
Donald Trump
Jerry,
in a debate
Jerry,
in the
Jerry,
worst
Jerry,
way possible.
Jerry.
Can you imagine that debate? Can you imagine that debate?
That'd be awesome. Because Jerry Springer would
Oh, I
fucking flip with him.
forgot that Mongo McMichael played for the Bears. That's why he made that. I was like, why is he talking about the Bears?
Right.
Mongo played for the Bears.
But
Jerry Springer went before with Donald Trump. He really would. Which is fucking weird to say, right?
Which is going to be the same thing when Donald Trump goes after Joe Biden.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Joe Biden could just stand there and just not say anything, and he'd win that debate.
Of course he's going to stand there and not say anything. He's going to forget what he had to say.
All he has to do.
All right, we're not going to do this. We're not going to discuss politics on here. No.
all right,
2024, baby. Make America brainless again.
I'm the vice president. Oh, Jay is.
Are you state?
I'm Secretary of State.
That was agriculture, we decided.
Well, agriculture, I want to be the amusement park czar, but then I realized if you're going to make Secretary of State, I was like, nah,
Wow, who the hell's my Secretary of State?
I forgot.
Somebody.
No, Jesse's going to be
Sanitation.
Secretary. Yes, thank you.
Sanitation. Is that even a real thing?
No,
He's gonna get
That's probably a good thing.
Wait, why am I in charge of trash?
All right. NXT Takeover, XXX.
I'm gonna go with
Vin Diesel? Cock Diesel?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Fantasmo de
Legado del Fantasma.
Plaza del Sol.
Yeah, I'll go with Plaza.
Los del Rio.
Let's
They're
go.
gonna do the Macarena after they win too. Joaquin,
So wrong.
Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wild. That's what I'm going with. Those
All right.
guys.
Is that what their names are?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go with them. I know who they are. I just
Right.
didn't
Right.
know that was their team name.
I'm going with Breezango, I guess.
All right, Add variety.
Wow, Jay. I'm gonna tweet after this. I'm gonna tweet at Oni Lorcan and tell him that you chose Breezango over him.
I think that they should get the tag team championships at some point, but what they've done with Lorcan and Birch lately, booking wise, like it wouldn't make any sense. And it's NXT. NXT tends to make more sense than,
That's true.
SmackDown and Raw. So that's why I'm not going with that.
That's why Liv and Levito Look is going to win tonight.
Right. All right. Chris Brown saying Breezango as well.
All right. Thank you, Chris Brown, not the woman meter.
Yeah, from Virginia, Northern Neck.
That man is the backbone of the F and Marks Facebook page.
He is.
It's good.
All
It's good to
right.
have fans.
He does a bulk of the posting too. It's great.
It's better than good shit, pal.
Yeah.
Great shit.
All right. Then we have Finn Balor going against Timothy Thatcher. I'm guessing that this is probably going to be start of the night.
No, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a match.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Finn Balor because Finn Balor is Mr. Takeover.
Finn Balor.
No, Johnny
Hold on,
Wrestling
time out.
There's Johnny Takeover.
Johnny Takeover has the most matches at Takeovers. Yes, I'll give him that. But Finn Balor has the most wins of anybody at NXT Takeover. He actually got
Shawn
that-
Michaels is Mr. WrestleMania, not The Undertaker.
So
Who's Mr. SummerSlam then?
Hulk Hogan.
It's not Bret Hart.
It's not
Hulk
Vader.
Hogan was like undefeated at SummerSlam.
Summerfest.
There was something else that was undefeated at SummerSlam, so I can't remember.
Shawn Michaels until he got beaten by Hulk Hogan. In your favorite
The greatest
SummerSlam match
of all time.
ever.
Yeah.
And I think there was something like that with Edge for a while because Edge, I think, was undefeated, and then he got literally buried by The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match where he got lit on fire.
Right.
Yes.
CM Punk said that Bret Hart is Mr. SummerSlam followed by himself.
So it depends on the Finn Balor thing.
I'm going with Finn Balor.
Do they do the Demon? Do you think?
I know that they said that the Demon was supposed to be a SummerSlam thing, but since Balor's back at NXT, maybe they have it for.
Why would that matter? I feel like the Demon should come out.
Especially since it's NXT Takeover 30. This
Yeah.
is the big one.
That'd be a good. If you got Demon Balor, he's winning.
Whether he comes out as Demon Balor or not, I still think he's winning.
Well, it's
I'm going with Timothy Thatcher just because I think they've got high in the sky hopes for him, and I think they want to give him a victory against a known name. So I'm gonna go Thatcher. All right.
All right.
We have Io Shirai going against Dakota Kai. Yeah, that rhymed. I wonder if they did that on purpose.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Dakota Kai is going to win this match.
All right.
As much as I would like to see Io Shirai keep the title a little bit longer, I think that this is a perfect opportunity for them to put the title on Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai has been fantastic ever since she turned heel. I'm going with Dakota Kai.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's good. I think it's a good opportunity for Dakota Kai. Dakota, I've always really liked her.
I did too.
I think she. I think they can make. They kind of want her to be a little bit more of a star, so she'll win with some chicanery, but she will win.
Yeah, because Raquel Welch is going to help her.
Raquel Welch.
I'm going to grudgingly agree with you guys. Like I think for me this one.
Score one for the brainless one.
I think this is like one of those ones, at least for me, where it's like I feel like it's a 51% to 49% thing where I'm like I think Io should be given I'd like to see her with a long run with the title, but it's like they could have her chase, but I will grudgingly agree. All right, we have North American title match: Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, Velveteen Dream, and Johnny Wrestling.
Gargano. For the record, Dexter Lumis was supposed to be in this match, and I will tell you right now,
He
if
died.
Dexter Lumis was in this match, I would be picking him to win it because it would be a no-brainer. I'm going to say Velveteen Dream. I'm kidding. I wouldn't pick that fucking piece of shit anyway. I'm going to go with Damian Priest. Looks like this is right up his wheelhouse and what he's going to do. I know they have a lot of high hopes for him. So I'm going to go with Damian Priest winning this match.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Just say Johnny Gargano, get it over with.
Jagger, yeah.
That's what I thought.
the goat of the land.
Right. Yeah, like to me, like I'm between Bronson Reed and Damian Priest, and part of me wants to say because like Bronson Reed got one up on Damian Priest a couple of weeks ago that the Priest should be the one that wins, so Bronson Reed will be an immediate challenger to her. So I'm gonna agree with the brainless one here. I'm going with Damian Priest. So and Chris Brown agrees.
There's nothing wrong with agreeing with the brainless one. I've had a couple.
You had a couple of
perfect score pay-per-views. Hell, I got one in AEW. I went 8 for 8. I forget which one it was. I want to say it was
one of them.
One of the big ones.
They only have 4, so they're all big ones. That's what she said.
Right.
All right. We have Keith Lee going against Karrion Kross.
I think this is way too early for them to pull the trigger on Karrion Kross being in this title picture. I think that they've done a wonderful job of building him up. Him and Scarlett are just stars. They're going to make a lot of money. Karrion Kross is going to make Vince McMahon a lot of money for a very long time. He is the future of WWE. Unfortunately, I think that they are going way too soon with putting him in the title picture. Keith Lee earned his right to be the champion. Keith Lee has been like the flag bearer for NXT the last couple months since he took the title from
Adam Cole, baby!
In the middle of a drink.
Sorry, Jeff. It's fun. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Here's why I think you're wrong, because what you just said. Karrion Kross is the future of WWE and Scarlett Bordeaux. And what better time than the Summerfest?
That is not a bad idea, Chris Brown.
And what better time than the Summerfest takeover porn than to have Karrion Kross, Killer Kross, whatever the fuck you want to call him, be the new NXT champion. I know I love Keith Lee. I think Keith Lee's fucking awesome. I think he's destined for bigger things. I really do.
I mean, they had that great part with him in the Royal Rumble this year where like they had him in the ring with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, if he doesn't want to work with you, is not going to work with you.
Right.
And actually, like, he and Keith Lee, like, toe-to-toe, it didn't look like he was, like, completely outmatched.
No. Vince loves Keith Lee. So the sooner Vince gets Keith Lee, the better for Keith Lee.
Or the worse for Keith Lee.
Well, I think it's going to be for the better for Keith Lee.
Because he's a big dude.
Because Vince loves him. There's not many people Vince loves.
Right.
So
See Ricochet.
He looks at the Keith Lee. He's like, holy shit, I have this guy. He's fucking much ginormous. He's athletic. I need him. And he's going to get a fucking rocket up his ass from Vince McMahon. And we're going to go to Keith Lee in about a year. But he's destined for bigger things.
Or he's going to get the Ahmed Johnson treatment.
No, because he can actually
couldn't wrestle
He couldn't wrestle or talk.
Ahmed Johnson almost like botched a move so badly he almost killed himself.
There was a whole series on YouTube called Fun with Ahmed, which made fun of him and just put subtitles underneath it that didn't make any sense because that's what it sounded like.
Remember the 97 Rumble where he took up one of the guys from the Nation of Domination, and as he was power bombing the dude through a table, the dude somehow was spun in midair because Ahmed did such a horrible job on that power bomb.
No, his promos were the best though. Like there was one promo where he was going against Austin, and he was like, "Your Mazzo is Cadillac and Enzo." Like it sounded like Cadillac and Ferrari Enzo, but he actually said Cadillac and Enzo, like Enzo. When you cross it, you score. When you cross it, you score. But like you didn't understand what the fuck he was saying. So like people just put subtitles underneath Ahmed's shit. Like even his WWF Warzone shit from the PlayStation 1. And
it's almost like bad lip reading.
It's what it is.
Translating.
No, like it is. And like the dude, like no one understood what he was saying. So that's why Keith Lee, I can understand him.
Yeah,
I can. He's a big fucking dude. He can actually wrestle. He's very athletic. He's a great fucking wrestler.
We'll see.
Chris Brown saying,
but Karrion Kross is winning.
Is going to be getting the Ahmed Johnson treatment.
Who said that?
Chris Brown saying that Apollo Crews is.
See, I don't think that's fair because I think Apollo Crews is a good fucking wrestler.
The problem is he's Dave fucking Winfield.
He can't talk.
He can't. It's not.
He doesn't have a character either.
He just smiles.
No, bullshit. He can talk, but remember when he first came to NXT? He can actually cut promos. But then they try to WWE him, WWEify him, like do all the scripted bullshit, and now his killed personality. Killed it. Because I remember when he first came to WWE, I was like, holy shit, this guy's awesome. He can talk, he can fucking wrestle. And then all of a sudden he couldn't talk at all. He still wrestled.
Right. All right.
Wuhan Nation, baby.
I'm gonna say.
Are
I don't want to go first. I
flip-flopping?
don't want to go first. I don't want to go first. Somebody else.
Jeff already said.
You're going with Karrion Kross.
Man.
Jay.
I'm gonna agree. Like as much as I think it's too early to take the title off Keith Lee, I think I kind of like the idea that Chris Brown put there, which is he ends up on the main roster right after SummerSlam. So you have him. They put the rocket on Karrion Kross, who is a star, and like having built him up the way they have, it's like. I remember when you had Undertaker going against Hulk Hogan, and you're like even as a kid, I'm like, I don't think they can. Like, I didn't think Hogan was going to lose to the Undertaker. Playa. But like they put the title on Undertaker, they put the Rocket under the Undertaker, and he ended up winning. So I'm thinking that they might do the same thing here with Cross, and Scarlett's just like the cherry on top of this team. I love it. I think it would be, with the way they built this storyline up, I feel they need to have Karrion Kross win.
I'm gonna go with a fuck finish. Double
Okay.
count out.
Okay.
Because that's the only way you're gonna let both of those guys still look strong. This way, Keith Lee can still keep the championship and still be the flag bearer for NXT.
Well, no, if they do a count out, they'll just have to fucking keep it going.
Yes, exactly. I don't think
So you want to keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want him to go to the
either
main
way.
roster.
Either if Karrion Kross wins, they can still keep this going.
No, but if
they
you guys,
can do a little
are
hot
still,
potato.
if you guys are convinced that he's going to make it to the main roster, then they're not going to continue this, because a lot of times NXT champions lose the title at NXT Takeover, and then hey, look, the following week, hey, look, they're on Raw, or hey, look, they're on SmackDown. They did the same thing with Drew McIntyre. They did the same shit with Bobby Roode. They did the same shit with Samoa Joe. Where all those guys, when they lost the title, here we go, you're on the main roster.
Like I said, Vince loves Keith Lee. So
Just saying. So why wouldn't he want to keep? If that was the case, then why wouldn't he want to keep Keith Lee down in NXT when NXT is the show that's going head to head with AEW every single week?
I don't fucking know, because he's fucking Vince and he needs fucking ratings on Raw. And he thinks maybe Keith Lee could be that guy.
The only way Vince McMahon is going to get ratings on Raw again is if CM Punk is in charge of Retribution. There, I said
The
it.
only way that Vince McMahon is going to get ratings on Raw again is if Sable shows up and shows with boobs.
Who? What? No, nobody wants to see that.
Well, not now, but you know what I mean.
The only way that Vince McMahon is going to get ratings on Raw is if he dies.
Okay, that's fair.
But I'm going double count out.
All right. So then we have Adam Cole, baby, going against Pat McAfee.
There's no way Adam Cole is losing this match. I'm sorry. You can't have your best wrestler down in NXT. Yes, I said it. Adam Cole is a better wrestler than Johnny Gargano. I think that Adam Cole is still one of their biggest stars.
1B.
And I'm telling you right now, this match is not going to be a dud. I think that McAfee's going to be able to hold his own, but I am going with Adam Cole, baby, to win this match.
All right.
It's going to be very interesting. I think there'll be a little chicanery for
I
Pat
agree.
McAfee because he's not a wrestler. He's not. He's been trained minimally, but this is like his first wrestling match that he's ever had. So,
It can't be any worse than watching Lawrence Taylor at WrestleMania 11. And Lawrence Taylor.
no, I mean,
it's
it's probably going to be very similar to that, honestly.
And LT held his own at WrestleMania.
Oh, for
11.
sure. And LT is one of the greatest athletes ever.
He is God
And I think Pat McAfee can be one of the greatest athletes ever
as a punter.
as a punter.
Yes.
No, he's very athletic punter.
Oh, I agree.
Because remember, he used to wreck dudes on special teams. So it'll be fun. I think. I mean, Pat will be able to do some minimal stuff. He'll be able to do. He'll be able to make it look not horrible. Adam Cole will help make him look good because he's Adam Cole, baby.
This is a go.
And he's fucking awesome. He's one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. And I just think it'll be a good match. In the end, you cannot beat Adam Cole in this match unless there's some fuckery going on. Like, unless Undisputed Era like turns on him, there's no way Pat McAfee's winning. So I have to go with Adam Cole, baby, for this one.
I am going with Pat McAfee to win this match because I think there is going to be some sort of chicanery. He's kind of the heel in this. I would love to see him go old school where he puts a foreign object in his tights and like
Brass knucks.
something like that.
Yeah. Oh, like Willie Regal. Maybe Willie Regal gets some brass knucks.
You never know.
He's got the brass knucks on his little desk. Yeah.
So that's
Is Willie Regal even on TV anymore?
he was on a couple weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
To announce the North American title ladder
For the
match.
North American title, we're going to have a ladder match.
Triple H going against.
What was the other one he did? He did one that was very obscure like that.
Umanga.
Yeah, Umanga.
Umanga.
All right,
I
so
love
that
Willie Regal.
is Takeover Porn.
Takeover porn.
All right, Summerfest.
Summerfest.
We have we have 6 title matches, and we got 2 gimmick matches. So Mandy and Sonya, and no DQ match. Loser leaves WWE.
WWE.
Mandy Rose.
I agree. Mandy Rose is going to win this match. I
Yeah.
feel Sonya needs some time away between the crazy person who showed up at her house and her wanting,
Yeah. I agree.
Other things.
I feel horrible for Sonya. I really do.
Same.
She did not deserve what happened to her. And
Yeah.
I think Sonya's a very good person. She's good for WWE, but she might need a few months away just to get herself together.
Mhm.
Maybe explore some other things that she may want to do.
Yeah.
And then come back, fresh mind, fresh body, and start taking that women's division by storm. I think she has the potential to do that
Agreed.
The promos she's been cutting lately have been like absolute fire.
because she's really good. She's very smart.
good.
She's very smart. She's intelligent, and
She looks like a badass.
she looks like a badass, and she has
legit
she has
credentials.
and she has that niche. Being the gay performer. So I think Sonya will take some time away. She'll come back to major fanfare, and then she'll challenge for the title almost immediately when she comes back. I wish her the best. I feel so bad for her that happened, and she's a tough woman. She'll come back, and hopefully, make the most of her career.
Sure.
After all this bullshit happened to her, like I have to say this, like dudes out there,
That's
it's not fucking worth doing that shit. All right, like just leave them alone. Leave them alone. Be fans. Compliment. Don't fucking stop.
Oh, it's
fucking
just,
creepy.
Just look at like what happened with the whole thing with Alexa Bliss when she started dating Ryan. What is it?
Ryan Cabrera. Mhm.
And like people are basically threatening his life and everything like that because he's dating Alexa.
Which is
Bliss.
weird because Ryan Cabrera was like a whole teen heartthrob when we were kids. Well, when I was a kid anyway. I don't know about you guys.
Who the hell was Ryan Cabrera anyway?
He was a singer. He's a singer.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a singer. He had a couple hits when I was a teenager, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have had hits when Alexa was a teenager.
Sure.
So it's probably like a real dream come true for her, honestly.
Yeah.
But like it's just not cool, dude. Like just leave them alone. These people have lives. They're people too.
Mhm.
Just let
Right.
them be fans. Appreciate their work. Appreciate that they entertain you. Ask for an autograph politely if it's the appropriate situation. Don't send shit to their house, you fucking weirdos. Just leave them be. Leave them be. They have lives. It's just like you and I. Like we have work, and then we have our lives outside of work.
Yeah.
This is our life outside of work. For them, their life outside of work
Right.
is their life. Just
Yeah.
leave them alone.
All right.
Especially the women's stars.
All right. Then we have Dominic
Mm.
going against Seth Rollins in a street fight.
So I saw the kendo stick shit.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck?
They beat the fucking shit out of Dominic.
Okay, yeah, I was like, wow.
Well, in this week,
He's paying his dues now. I mean,
Well,
like,
he and his dad got a little retribution this week.
So I see what you did there.
See what I did?
are Dominic and Rey Mysterio in Retribution?
But they concertoed with kendo sticks on Seth Rollins. Although Rollins, like, he had like a shirt on. I'm like, going, that's cheap, man. You should get the.
Yeah, you see the bear kendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm going with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, you can't have Dominic.
yeah, Dominic in his first match. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I agree. Rollins is going to
one
win.
of-
There's going to be some
Yeah.
chicanery, but
Chicanery. I see what you did there.
Against one of the best wrestlers in WWE main roster. As much as I hate Seth Rollins' character, I can't deny.
I actually like the Messiah.
I like the Monday Night Messiah. Before this, I thought he was Mr. Vanilla.
You know, there's nothing wrong with vanilla because vanilla is the number one selling ice cream. Because vanilla ice
Just
cream
like
does everything.
WWE is vanilla wrestling. Sometimes.
No. WWE is dog shit.
Dominic wins. Seth goes off to be with Becky for the birth of their kid.
How long has Becky been out?
Since
Since WrestleMania, right? May?
So she's got some months left.
Yeah, she's got like 5 months left. So I think maybe after Survivor Series, you might see it leave.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right. So clean sweep. Seth Rollins for us. All right. Then we have Bailey Manning. Oh, I'm sorry. Bitchy 2 belts.
Bitchy 2 belts. I'm done.
Going against Asuka.
Asuka.
Yes.
They get a clean sweep.
I'm going with Asuka.
You're going with Asuka.
I am.
I'm going with the GOAT of the women's division, Asuka.
I want Asuka very much.
And not only that, but if the next match is Asuka versus
Sasha.
Sasha, I'm going with the clean sweep, and Asuka's going to win both championships. That was my big tinfoil hat theory, is that Asuka's going to be the new, because they've been talking about the two of them being Bailey 2 belts and 2 belts Banks. I think Asuka's going to be the new 2 belts person because she's going to have both of them.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Asuka. This way, the WWE can have Asuka still be on Raw, and she can be on SmackDown. And if we're going to get all the Asuka we can get, at least have somebody entertaining like Asuka to be on both shows, not fucking Sasha Banks, who's the big crybaby who doesn't get her way and then eventually gets her way later on, or the fact that Bailey looks like she needs to speak to a manager and she just has that dirt face. So I'm sorry, it's Asuka. Asuka should be the leader of the women's division, and I think that she should have both titles at the same time.
All right.
Which is
So
gonna
I'm
lead
going
to-
to just put your Asuka pick there. All right.
Which is going to lead to the meltdown of the Bailey Sasha construct.
Okay.
Really? You're going to do it now?
So there's that. Sasha versus Asuka. Who do you got?
Honestly, might as well have Asuka win that one too.
All right. I am going to be a contrarian to you guys. I'm going Sasha is going to win this match, and then she's going to use that to kind of
Stick it in Bailey's face.
and that'll eventually lead to their bust up at WrestleMania next year. But I think it's
And
going to
it's
take.
going to be WrestleMania like 2025.
So.
They've been teasing this for fucking like 6 years.
Well, it should have happened like 3 years ago at WrestleMania, and then they screwed it up. But at this point, like, they had Bailey, like have the title for this long, and like kind of putting it in Sasha's face a little bit. And I just think that that's going to be how the dynamic they're going to have to bring this forward.
The
So
dynamic dudes?
dynamic dudes were fantastic. Johnny.
Johnny Wrestling.
Johnny. No. People power. John Laurinaitis.
Power.
Johnny Ace. Yeah.
Power. Ugh.
Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. All right. So then we have Apollo Crews going against MVP now because Apollo Crews won on Monday night. Raw, that means that the Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are not allowed at ringside. So, I think MVP is going to find a way to get Lashley and or Shelton Benjamin at ringside. I think he is going to win the title. He's going to win the title that he spent thousands of dollars on.
1, 2, you hear the clock ticking, tick, tock. You're about to stop living, tick, tock.
So you're going with MVP?
I'm going MVP, baby.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
What is it like? It's
What? For Miami, I think.
305.
305.
So,
Something like that.
how about you?
There's
Hefe?
never going to be a time I don't take MVP.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going with MVP.
All right.
Montel Vontavious Porter.
I think MVP is the greatest United States champion in WWE history. I won't say he's the greatest United States champion of all time,
Right.
but I think that he is the greatest U.S. champion in WWE history.
That's fair.
MVP wins after Alexander comes down, distracts the ref, and MVP gets the pin. So he's saying that, like, Cedric is going to be part of. Why do I keep forgetting the
Her business.
Her business. Part of that. Yeah. I like that. I like it. All right. Street Profits, who have been poisoned by Zelina Vega for the last several weeks, going against Andrade and Angel Garza.
I got a feeling that Andrade and Angel Garza are going to win this match and win the.
Is this for a title?
It is for the Raw Tag Team
I think
Championship.
Andrade Cien Almas and Angel Garza are going to win the match.
I actually agree. All right.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep. All right. Then we have Drew McIntyre versus Randall Keith Orton. Yeah, it could be it could be another new member of Hurt Business comes down, but
Could be our truth.
could be the Fratellis.
Could be Chunk with
The Fratellis.
Goonies.
All right. I think that for the WWE Championship, the winner of the match is going to be known by the 3 most devastating letters in the English language. RKO. Randall Keith Orton becomes the new WWE Champion and gets one step closer to surpassing Ric Flair because he deserves that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Hefe. McIntyre or Orton?
I'm thinking McIntyre. I'm thinking Drew needs to have a little bit longer run. It's probably one of the most forgettable runs in WWE history.
It's because
It's not his fault.
Because no one's fucking watching it. So, might as well keep it on him a little bit longer.
Okay.
I mean, like, everyone's going to... Here's the thing. No one of you remember Drew's run. Everyone remembers Ginger's run.
Right.
Everybody remembers Kofi Kingston's run, too.
Exactly. It was fucking awesome. I mean, I feel bad for Drew. Like,
Nobody remembers Kevin Nash's run.
That would be
I feel
very interesting.
I feel really bad for Drew, though. Like,
Orton wins, HBK super kicks Drew. Like, after the craziness that happened this week on Monday, so
That's really not out of the realm of possibility because you got to think about it. Shawn Michaels might think he's kicking Randy Orton, but he's got his other eye on Drew McIntyre. So it's completely possible.
What a
that
story,
Shawn
Mark.
Michaels can kick Drew
What a
McIntyre
story,
because he's
Mark.
thinking he's kicking Randy Orton instead.
Oh, my God.
Is it out of the realm of possibility?
Probably not.
Thank you.
if I'm looking at booking 101,
Isn't that the book that WWE threw out the window years ago?
if I'm looking at booking 101, which you say WWE is too predictable, which would mean booking 101 would completely be what this is, which Randall Keith Orton stood tall at the end of Monday night. And as much as I know they don't always go with this, especially with a show like SummerSlam, I think I actually believe that this is booking 101 and Drew McIntyre is going to go over, but this may not necessarily be the end of this feud.
Agreed.
So I am going to go with Drew McIntyre keeping the title, but I think he might take like a skull punt at the end of the night, and because they're having like another pay-per-view, like I think like next week.
Next week, yeah. It's
What is it? Extreme Rules?
No, it's
Backlash?
One of the
I
like
think it's Backlash or something like that.
but I'm going to say that there's probably going to be a rematch between those two because of how it ends the week after, and I think Jeff Harvey possibly going against AJ Styles will be on that pay-per-view.
Jeff Harvey.
So what Chris is saying, he thinks that McIntyre is going to get the reset so he can do the chase, and starting at the Rumble next year, and then when fans are supposedly back in seats.
Payback.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
That's such good shit, pal.
But he, that way McIntyre finally actually gets the WrestleMania moment of winning the title in front of fans instead of, winning in front of the fan. That's above the performance center.
Can I go last on the Fiend Braun Strowman match?
Of course you can, because I know you have a tinfoil hat theory for it. All right, so Braun Strowman going against the Fiend for the
Universal.
I always forget which title is on which show.
Yeah? Whatever world title is on the show.
Right. They've incorporated Alexa into this, although she wasn't on this week. But for me, like, I feel like with what they've done to the Fiend character, he has to win. He has to win the title, in my view, because they tried to make him this unstoppable monster. The last time we saw him in a match, he won the acid trip match at WrestleMania, and
Was that really the last time we saw the Fiend?
that was the
An
first
actual
wrestling match.
Oh, fuck.
Before
He had
that,
a-
he
he
lost
had a-
to Goldberg,
He had a
Right.
swamp.
Yeah,
match.
he lost the bill. I remember that.
but he was Bray
Bill
Wyatt,
Goldberg.
the Eater of Worlds, against in the Swamp match,
Yep.
and he was regular Bray Wyatt, and
But he's had like 3 matches in the last.
yeah, it's not been a
Yeah.
lot.
Probably because he's not a good wrestler.
I think
He's not too terribly bad.
Yeah, he doesn't entertain me.
Yeah,
You're not entertained by that? That's entertaining to me.
No, not really.
so I'm going with the Fiend just because like they made him like supposed to be like an indestructible monster. The
Right.
fact that they had him jump off of the jump out of the back of a ambulance from a local medical facility yesterday night, like I just get the feeling he's going to win against non-grease Strowman.
Yeah, I can't believe he's not Grease anymore. It makes me upset.
I know.
Who you going with?
The Fiend, it's been 1 year since the Fiend debuted.
Yep.
And I think that'll be a good cap off for the whole year.
All right.
For the match itself, I'm going to go with Braun Strowman is victorious over the Fiend, but in one of those battles where they beat the shit out of each other, and it's like Braun Strowman wins, but he's kind of like incapacitated after he wins. And then we get the moment of all moments. Because the
Retribution.
man who is going to walk out of SummerSlam as Universal Champion, I'm picking the fucking dozer to cash in and successfully win the Universal Championship from Braun Strowman.
Okay. The
Money-
brainless one.
I can't.
You've been thinking.
Money in the
haven't you?
Bank is actually the last time I watched wrestling.
If, I know I said it for 5,000, but I'm going to make things more interesting. If I am absolutely 100% correct and Otis Dosovich wins the Universal
Holy
Championship
fucking shit.
at SummerSlam, we will do the Mana Lantern on the podcast. You can book it.
Book it.
Book it.
Book it.
I would do it. I would 100% do it if the Dozer wins the title at SummerSlam.
Book it.
Yeah.
Mana Lantern.
All right. I hope. Yeah, Nicole's tuning in, so she heard that too. All right. Great.
Rush downstairs.
So, all right. So that is SummerSlam.
All right. Somebody thinks he's going to catch
Summerfest.
Yeah.
All right.
So, good, bad, and brainless.
All right. So what is your good for this week, Cousin Jay?
Of all the things that they had going on, what was the thing that really stuck out to me? I actually like the Thunderdome a lot. I did. I think it's a better visual representation. The fact that a couple of people fell asleep watching SmackDown, that's great. No, but I did. I like the visual presentation so much better than just being in the super small arena. Because I think AEW at Daly's Place looks a hell of a lot better than what WWE has looked like at the Performance Center.
Right.
So that's my good.
My good for this week is going to go to Sonya Deville. Even after everything that she has gone through over the last week with the whole stalker coming into her house, and God only knows what the hell he was going to do, she still came out this week and cut one hell of a promo, even though she did alter the match that she had originally planned against Mandy Rose. But now it fits in a little bit better than what she's trying to do storyline-wise. Sonya Deville, who is somebody who I've been a fan of for quite a bit of time, even when she was Daria Baronato when she was down in NXT before she changed it to Sonya Deville. I'm a huge fan of hers. I think this is good, and she has definitely made me feel a lot better about being a fan of hers. So she gets my good for this week.
All right.
I don't watch wrestling. So, fuck. What he said.
Johnny Gargano lived.
Johnny
Gargano lived. So good for this week.
Yeah. All right.
What's your bad, Jay?
I'm going with the blatant disrespect of Mickie James.
That's disgusting.
They brought her back. They actually promoted ahead of time that they were bringing her back, only to more or less crap on her match and have her lose by countout. If you're going to make a big deal of her coming back, don't have Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy come out and yell at Samoa Joe, how do you know Rey Mysterio's here? And screw up everything as far as the presentation of that match was going. Mm-hmm. I don't mind that she lost to Natalya, although I think they should have had a better, longer match between the two of them. Have her come back after SummerSlam instead of wasting her time and wasting her talents. I hated that they did that.
My bad is Jeff Hardy winning the freaking Intercontinental Championship. And, if you think about it, AJ Styles won the Intercontinental title not too long after coming back from the dead to enter into the tournament to become the new Intercontinental Champion. And the fact is, his title reign wasn't even that long. So the fact is that Hardy winning it, and everybody knows how I feel about Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's one of those guys, I just can't stand Jeff Hardy. He's got drug issues. He's got all this stuff. And it's like, the dude could have went down as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And yes, he's won every fucking title, from the European Championship, the Hardcore title, to the freaking WWE title, and all that stuff.
TNA Championship.
But I'm just sorry. He's a guy that could have been so much better in this industry if he had just stayed on the straight and narrow. And I'll tell you right now.
You don't talk the same way about Jake the Snake Roberts.
Trust me.
You don't.
Trust me.
You don't.
Well, Jake the Snake never won the title. Jake the Snake definitely could have been a bigger
But
star.
it was a different time.
Yes.
Not everybody won a title, but you never went off about Jake the Snake Roberts being a junkie who couldn't get his shit clean.
Because Jake the Snake had a really fucked up life. Isn't like his grandfather, his dad, and his sister is his mom or some shit like that.
It is messed up.
So it's like I kind of give Jake the Snake the pass just because of the fact that he had a fucked up life.
Uneven. You're uneven.
Yes. But I'm sorry, Jeff Hardy winning the Intercontinental title was bad. The only way they can redeem themselves for this, for me, is if Sheamus wins the Intercontinental Championship from Jeff Hardy, which means that Sheamus will go down as the single greatest wrestler in WWE history, because he'll have the World Heavyweight, the WWE, the Undisputed Championship. He'll have Intercontinental US Tag Team Championships for both Raw and SmackDown, won King of the Ring, Money in the Bank, and the Royal Rumble, which means ipso de facto Sheamus is God.
Sure. King of the Ring where he wore the antlers.
That was the fucking best King of the Ring. That was the best King of the Ring since Owen Hart.
But he always lost.
They always booked the freaking King of the Ring that way.
That's a recent thing.
Right. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
What's your bad for this week?
Philip Thomas, age 24, from South Carolina. You're a fucking piece of shit. How dare you try to violate a woman in her own home? This is a man who
Yeah.
stalked
Sonya.
and tried to hurt
And
Sonya Deville.
And what gets me the most is that he had a knife and pepper spray.
He had a knife and pepper because he needed the pepper spray because he knew he couldn't fucking beat her in a fight. That's the thing. Fuck you, dude. You're a piece of shit. You make wrestling fans look terrible. You make us look like fucking morons who fucking have like just drool over these women. Fuck you, dude.
And he's going to get his ass kicked in prison.
I hope the fuck someone beats the shit out of him so bad.
Oh, he's going to.
I just hope, like, you just don't, like, there's one thing in the world I hate is when people treat women wrong.
He said that he needs a rope. And put him with the same prison guards as Epstein and Aaron Hernandez.
You mean the no prison guards?
Right.
I know that he's not famous enough for that, but yeah, just fuck this guy, man. Like, just god damn, I hate that. Like, it's
Yeah.
it's not fair. It's just not fair.
All right.
Brainless.
I'm going with we get to see R. Kelly Jr. Like, I was a big fan and advocate of Velveteen Dream and these allegations and what seems like a preponderance of evidence that's readily available definitely makes it like
He did it.
yeah, he did. It makes it seem like he did these things, and it's like it feels. I know different types of incidents, but it makes me think of the NFL with Ray Rice. Like, TMZ spent $15,000 to get the video of what Ray Rice did. We had no idea. TMZ, who is not like NFL, we did our investigation. Everything seems on the up and up. We'll give him a 2-game suspension.
Well,
Video comes out, and he
not true.
never gave her a left hook, and he was never suspended more than those 2 games.
He just ended up out of the NFL.
But because everybody saw that, they're like, yeah, I'm not hiring that dude.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, it kind of feels like the same way with Velveteen Dream right now. It's like, but there's an awful lot of evidence, but because we don't have a video of him like doing the things that he allegedly did, it's like, oh, nothing to see here. So WWE keeping him around and seemingly either not investigating or turning a blind eye is just terrible.
If he wins the title tonight, the backlash that is going to come on social media is going to be incredible. And I'll tell you right now, Jay, I was actually going to go with that for my brainless. And you know me, I don't like to have us have the same one unless I'm just like, and there's really nothing else that could be competitive enough for this. But for me, it's the way that they booked the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions this week on WWE TV, which is why it's my brainless for this week. Because number one, you had the 2 of them go up against, like you said, a makeshift tag team of two non-championed people. You could, I mean, if they didn't have the tag team titles, you put them up against the tag team champions and they lose. Yeah, that makes sense. That's actually really good WWE booking. But the fact is, you got Shayna Baszler, who's going up against the most ridiculously retarded, useless woman in the history of mankind, and Nia Jax, and having them fight, and basically Asuka's fighting a 2-on-1 handicap match until Shayna Baszler comes in and kind of saves the day and helps them win the match against them. So it's like the makeshift tag team beats the tag team champions and the 2 singles champions for Raw and SmackDown. Then last night you had the 2 of them and a beat the clock challenge, and they both faced the same person. Now, for me, in a situation like that, since you're wrestling 2 matches, you would think that the person who wrestled 2 matches would be tired once you got to the second match. But instead, you didn't even have, Bayley try to beat you didn't even have Bayley try to, beat the clock. She lost. She lost to a woman who had already lost prior in the match before, and then she goes and she wins the match against Bayley? I don't get that. That one is just like, that was the real head scratcher for me this week, and that is why it gets my brainless for this week, even though it should be Velveteen Dream.
I've been waiting to go off on these motherfuckers for 2 weeks.
All right.
Not this week, but
Mike Clevenger and Zach Plesac, you pieces of fuck.
All right, so backstory. I'm a big Cleveland Indians fan. If you
Land.
And these two dumb shits are supposed to be like part of the backbone of the pitching staff. And they decided, you know, how sports are right now, you can't really do anything outside of, you know, work.
Right.
These fuckers decided to go out in Chicago, a Corona capital, and like do have dinner and shit. Please, Zach, I will be willing to more forgive because he told the team immediately. He's like, "Hey, man, I went out with my friends last night. I'm sorry." Cool. Clevenger, you motherfucker, you deadbeat dad, piece of shit. Didn't tell the team that he went with Plesac until after he flew home to Cleveland with them. He got on a plane with these fuckers. He could have got Corona. He could have spread that to the team. There are people on the team who are immunocompromised, including manager Terry Francona, including
Carrasco.
pitcher Cookie Carrasco. Fuck Mike Clevenger. Fuck Zach Plesac a little less. But then there are these fans who are like, oh, the people who don't think Corona is a big fucking deal, right? Corona is a fucking big deal. Fuck you. And I continue to, because if it wasn't a big deal, I wouldn't report on it every fucking day for fucking 6 months straight, right?
Yeah.
So, like, there are people who are like, oh, they're just kids. They're just kids. I'm like, okay, please, Zach. Yeah, he's like 24, 25 years old. Kid. Clevenger is literally 10 days older than me. I'm almost 30. That guy's a fucking man. All right?
He's a man.
He's a man. He's 30. So,
I'm a man.
so like, I was like, oh, he's just a kid. I'm like, fuck you. I hope he gets fucking traded. I hope he gets fucking sent to the fucking Mariners or some bullshit bum-ass team that doesn't have a chance at anything.
Don't say it to the Red Sox.
To the Red Sox for Alex Verdugo.
Because I'll tell you right now, if the Red Sox trade Alex Verdugo for Mike Clevenger, Jane Bloom is going to win my fucking brainless for that week. And I'm going to drive up to Boston and beat the fucking shit out of
There is nothing more I want than Mike Clevenger to be traded. I haven't turned on a player faster than when LeBron left Cleveland the first time. Like, Mike Clevenger is one of my favorite players on the Indians, and then he does that, puts the team at risk, puts the season at risk. No. Fuck you, dude. You piece of fucking shit, you deadbeat dad. We should have listened to your fucking ex-baby mama or whatever fuck. When she said you're a fucking crazy person and you're stupid.
Yeah?
Those are my brand lists for this week, even though it happened 2 weeks ago.
Right.
It's fun, Jeff. It is fun.
So, anyway.
So if you like what you've seen this week, whether you are a first-time listener or a long-standing fan of the podcast, make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Periscope, and subscribe to us on YouTube at the letter T, the letter H, the letter E, the letter F, the letter N, MARKS, the F and Marks. If you like, follow and subscribe to us on all those outlets. We will do the same thing back. It's always been our motto. And also make sure you tune into the Wrestling Marks page, which is facebook.com/WrestleMarks, and set up for notifications so that when we do go live, you get the notification to let you know that this wonderful brainless individual is going to grace your tablet or cell phone or whatever it is that you watch us on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that after we gotten all the predictions done, we talked about the Thunderdome and we talked about the Velveteen Dream and the NXT Takeover.
You might have to delay a little bit. I think my device is.
Oh, you told me I have to
Well, I
stretch.
know you didn't give me you didn't give us the cues for fucking Bootios and Colt 45 earlier.
Why are you calling us out, man?
Yeah.
You're the special guest. So, yeah, F and Marks Hall of Famers don't call out the F and Marks.
What? That's the whole point of me being an F and Marks Hall of Famer.
No. The point of you being an F and Marks Hall of Famer is because of the fact that you are a legitimate and a very reliable
Person to be on the show.
Yes, contributor to the podcast. It's because of the fact
I'm
that
the most consistent contributor to this podcast you've ever had. So
yeah. If we don't count the guy who gave us the idea for the F and Marks.
okay, well, Sean O isn't here, is he?
No, he's not here. He's here in spirit.
I've been on this episode, I've been on this show more times than Sean. I've been on the show at least. I've been on the show at least 15 times since.
I think it's like 20.
It's probably
It's
around
about
20
20,
now.
25.
I mean, it's been. I mean, I'm on all the major shows, so that's 4 a year.
The Phillies
for
have
last.
acquired right-handed. Yeah, I know that the Phillies acquired Brandon Workman and mouth breather.
Is it worth it? Can you work, man?
Right.
They actually acquired some dude I actually somewhat heard of too. I forget what his name was. But
Right.
anywho,
Are you almost ready to send this out?
but anyway,
Stand by.
Okay. So
Look at that. I gotta wait till this.
You got mad.
oh goodness
Stand
gracious.
by.
Here we go.
Oh, anyway,
It's gonna get to it. Say it.
all right. But today, on August 22nd of 2020, at 1,843 days, just like El Jefe, FMR's Hall of Famer Curtis Axel is still alive in the 2015 Royal Rumble.
No gusto at all today. Look at you.
I got thrown off by the song actually starting but too quickly. But anyway, so for episode 188 of the FMR's podcast, Jeff, we appreciate you coming in
Thank you.
and being a part of this podcast.
As always, anytime you're available, I'll probably be on in the next 12 episodes for 200.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe like what, December,
Something like that.
November, something like that.
Yeah.
Over, I think, maybe.
Really?
Anyway, so for episode 188 of the FMR's podcast,
I'm Jay.
and I am the brainless one,
And I'm El Jefe.
make sure you mark out.
With your guac out.
And you're gone.
See you, everyone. Wow. I don't have words for that one.
Yeah!